We're back again for another best and worst cases video. This time it's for the brand new Galaxy S25 Plus. And before we begin, I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody who left me comments in last year's video. Thank you so much for all your support. And if you're new here and you like what I'm doing, please hit that like button because it not only lets me know that you like the video, but it also helps out the channel. And you're not going to want to miss any part of this video because I will be going through each one of these cases to let you know which ones are the worst and which ones I think are worth your time. And I will also be putting timestamps and product links in this video's description because this is going to be a lengthy video. But stick with me because I guarantee that you're going to find one case here you're going to absolutely love. And make sure you stick around until the end of the video because I will be giving you my favorite case choices based on a few different categories. So grab your snacks, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. And then here we have a Minimalist case by FIBERBORNE. This case is made from 600D Aramid fiber. It's got MagSafe built in, and it also comes with a tempered glass screen protector. So first off, presentation looks really nice. It comes in this handmade wooden box that's covered in like a Aramid fiber look. We do get a little accessory packet here. It also comes with a tempered glass screen protector. And then here we have our case. Looks really nice, super light, feels nice and strong. Like look at that, it barely even bends. And as you can see, it's Aramid fiber through and through. And you can also see that they've got the MagSafe built right into the case. And then for our accessory kit, we get a warning. It says that the case may work with some of the wireless charging stands, so you're just going to have to try it out with the one that you have. Tells you a little bit about the Aramid fiber. And here we get one tempered glass screen protector and our cleaning kit. So we'll put our phone inside the case here. Fits the phone perfectly, snaps into place, feels nice in the hand. It doesn't feel slippery, but it's a little bit more than smooth. It's got a little bit of a grip to it as well. But either way, it feels great in the hand. You can see it's got a cutout here for your side buttons, so you can very easily press the original buttons. If we look at it from the side, you can see that it does have a slight raised edge all the way around the phone screen, except for where they have the cutout. And you can see that it keeps the phone super slim. On the bottoms, we've got just the cutouts we need for our charging port and speaker. On the other side, again, we have that large cutout for our volume and power button. On the back, total Aramid fiber. You can see that it's nice and smooth. It doesn't show fingerprints. It's also super durable. So if you happen to have this in your purse or your pocket with some change or some keys and it rubs against it, you don't have to worry about it scratching up the back of your case. And we also do have some precise cutouts for our camera covers as well. Really nice case so far. Now let's test out that Qi Wireless 2 charging. So here I have my Qi 2 wireless charger, put it onto the back. Clips onto the back, charges your phone immediately. See fast wireless charging. And as far as the hold, it's got a pretty strong hold on the case as well. So you don't have to worry about your phone just coming off the charger. It's on there pretty good. And because it's Aramid fiber, it easily spins on your MagSafe accessory. That is nice. Works out pretty well. Yeah, it's got a nice strong hold. So looking good so far. I really do like this case. It doesn't feel like it's going to break or it's fragile like some of the other Aramid fiber cases. Like you saw, it barely bends. And it keeps the phone super slim. That is a nice case. So now let's install the tempered glass screen protector. So what I would do is I'd keep the case on your phone to use it as a guide and then clean off the screen with your alcohol wipe. Then dry it off. Then take your screen protector. We're going to put some stickers on it as something for you to hold on to. So it should look something like this. Make sure that this sticker is on the underside of the screen, and it really doesn't matter which way you put it because it's all symmetrical on each side. So then we're going to peel off the bottom protector. and then hold on to your guides to install the screen protector the best you can. So to tell you the truth, my guide stickers came right off the screen as soon as I tried to install it. So I just ended up using both my hands, and because of that, I ended up getting a large gap at the bottom of the phone here, and it's more up towards the top. So this screen protector should be case friendly because there is such a gap here. If I were to line this up properly, there would be a gap at the bottom and the top, but there's no gap at the top. There are some on the sides and a rather large gap at the bottom because it was a little difficult to install with your fingers, or at least mine. But screen installation could have been a little easier with a guide or some bigger stickers or something, but it does seem to be laying down on the screen pretty well. I don't see any bubbles or anything else underneath for that matter, so that's definitely a plus. As far as fingerprints, it does seem to do a pretty good job at rejecting fingerprints. There's some marks on the screen, but we can just very easily wipe those away. As far as touch, feels nice and smooth, just like the glass that's on the phone, and the edges are also rounded off. So let's test out our fingerprints. And fingerprints seem to be working just fine. So if you are having issues with your fingerprints, just re-register them after you install the screen protector. So now let's take a look at the screen as if we're looking at it through polarized sunglasses. And you can see that there is a yellowish tinge to the screen if you're looking at it dead on. And if we twist and turn, it just kind of gets a little worse. So not the best for polarized sunglasses, but you can still see what's on the screen. Now this is a full coverage screen protector, so let's test out our camera. Camera looks nice and clear, don't see any issues there. Now we'll test out our facial recognition. And the facial recognition seems to be working just fine too. We'll do it again. Yeah, no issues there. So looking good, you can see that it is nice and clear. No issues with touch, working fine. And I'm not going to even try to test for screen bleed because I installed this myself and I know there's going to be some off portion on either side of the screen, so I'm just not going to even test that out. And if we take a look at our phone from the side, you can see that there's still a little bit of a raised edge around the front of the phone, even though we do have a tempered glass screen protector on here. And that's definitely a plus in my book because if you put your phone face down, you know that it's not actually going to touch the screen. So I can't really complain for a free screen protector, but we're going to move on. So I can't really complain about a free screen protector that came with my case. It seems to be doing a pretty good job so far, but let's move on to the scratch and the drop test. So we're going to start off our test by dropping a 2.4 ounce steel metal ball at a starting height of 2 feet. If the screen protector doesn't crack, we'll move it up foot by foot until it eventually does. So here we go, 2 feet. Nothing yet. Moving on to 3 feet. Nothing yet. 4 feet. It's got a little mark, but no crack yet. 5 feet. Yep, there's a mark, but no cracking. 6 feet. 6 feet. So you really can't complain at all. To get a free screen protector that lasted up until a 6-foot drop, that's unheard of. So now let's move on to the scratch test. So regular tempered glass starts to scratch at a MOUS hardness number 6, so we're going to start off with the number 5. Then we'll move on to a number 6. And then finally a number 7. So if we take a closer look at the screen, you can see there are no scratches at the number 5. There are slight at a number 6 and deeper at a number 7. So scratch resistance is standard for tempered glass. So the worst thing about the screen protector was the installation. Because there wasn't a guide or the stickers wouldn't stay on the screen, it was a little difficult to align as you saw. It does seem to be case friendly. It does also work well with the in-display fingerprint sensor. It lasted up until a 6-foot drop, and scratch resistance is standard for tempered glass. And the way that I found to take this off your phone is to kind of press in the top corner here until it kind of slides off your phone, and then do the same thing in the bottom corner. Then kind of continue to press these off the sides with your thumb, and then you should be able to eventually get this off your phone. It's on the phone really good, but you can get it off. So here we have the MOUS super thin case, and as the name says, this case is super thin and it's also very light. This case also does have MagSafe built in, and it's got kind of like this fabric material on the inside to help keep your phone from getting all scratched up. Fits on the phone really well, feels pretty good in the hand. It's not slippery, but it's not grippy. It's got kind of like this smooth, rubbery type feel. And unlike some of the other cases, this case is made of a rigid, hard plastic. It's just coated in like this kind of rubbery type material, but on the inside, it's just a hard plastic case. Another thing to note about this case is there are no covers for your buttons on the side. It's kind of recessed into the case a little bit. So the only thing is even though the buttons are going to be nice and clicky and easily pressable, you will have to kind of press your finger inside the case just a little bit to access that button. It's not horrible, it's just something I wanted to note. And if we take a look at the case from the side, you can see that it does have a slight raised edge on the front of the phone, and it's also keeping the phone pretty slim. We've got our cutouts on the bottom. We've got our cutouts on the side for our buttons. And on the back, again, it's got kind of like that smooth, rubbery type feel. It does keep fingerprints down, but it will show some slight smudges on the back, not nearly as bad as some of the glossy cases. And for the edge around the camera lenses, it's pretty much flush, so not a lot of protection for your camera lenses. And as I mentioned, this case does also have MagSafe built in, so we'll test that out. Clips right onto the back, charges your phone immediately. And it's got a pretty good hold onto the case. You definitely don't have to worry about the phone just coming off the MagSafe accessory. It's on there pretty good. Now, the one good thing about the camera lenses being flush with the case is if you're going to be using a bigger MagSafe accessory, like I've got this power bank here, you don't have to worry about the charger sitting on top of any raised edge around the camera lenses. It's flush to give it the best charge and hold for the MagSafe. So again, if you like the way that your phone feels without a case on it, the super thin case is definitely the way to go. Keeps the phone nice and slim, but it does offer some protection. The only thing I would like to see is maybe a little bit more of a raised edge around your camera lenses. They could keep this flat on the bottom here for the MagSafe accessories like I showed you. And for me, I like the buttons because I like the buttons to protrude off the case. It just makes it a little easier to find and to press. And then here we have that super thin case in a clear. Again, it's made of a hard plastic. There are no rubber edges on this case, and we do have the MagSafe built in. Fits the phone really well. It does have a little bit of a grip to it. It's not slippery, but it does have like a slight grip. We do have the same cutouts for the buttons on the side. You can see that it does show off the color of your phone, but because it is so glossy, it will pick up fingerprints a little more than the matte black does. But if you want a totally clear case that keeps your phone super slim, then the clear, super thin case 2.0 is the way to go. And then here we have the MOUS Clarity 3.0 case. This case does have a firm, rigid, hard backing. It does show fingerprints a little more than some of the other matte cases do. We do have MagSafe built in, and this case is surrounded by a firm rubbery type material, and it's also got these Aero Shock gel pads on the inside of the case, and that helps with drop protection. Fits the phone perfectly, does feel good in the hand. It's got a little bit of a texture on the side to help with grip. The buttons Also nice and clicky, very easily pressable, which I absolutely love. We also do have some reinforcements in the corners to help with drop protection. And if we take a look at it from the side, you can see how aggressive the raised edge is on the top and the bottom of the case. And you can see that in the middle of the case, it's slightly lowered, and that's to help with ease of the touch gestures when you're swiping back and forth. Definitely a good idea. Now, it does add a little bit of extra bulk to the phone, but you are getting that better drop protection. We have the texturing on the side to help with grip, our lanyard hole in the corners, our cutouts on the bottom. We have our volume and power buttons on the side, along with that grip and the lanyard hole. On the back, again, it's nice and clear. It does pick up some fingerprints you can see on the back here, but you can very easily just wipe those away. And we also do have the MagSafe ring, and just like the super thin case, the camera lenses are pretty much flush with the back of the case as well. So let's test out our MagSafe. Clips onto the back, charges your phone immediately, and as far as the hold, it's got a pretty good hold on the back. Your MagSafe accessory isn't just going to fall off your phone, but it's not the strongest hold that I've ever felt. But I think it's adequate enough to keep your phone in place. And again, because the camera lenses are flush with the case, you can use a bigger MagSafe accessory like my power bank here, and it'll sit nice and flush with the back of the case. I do like this clarity case. It feels good in the hand. Buttons are nice and clicky. MagSafe seems to work well. You can see the back color of your phone. Again, the only thing I would like to see is maybe more of a raised edge for your camera lenses. And then here we have the MOUS Limitless 6.0 case. This is my favorite case by far, specifically the Aramid fiber one. It just looks and feels really nice. It's nice and smooth, keeps down the fingerprints on the back, and it also keeps down scratches as well. It is very durable. Of course, if you took something super sharp to the back of this, it would probably, scratch it up. But for like fingerprints or, other things in your purse like change, it's not going to scratch up the back of the case. On the inside, we do have the kind of like that microfiber and the MagSafe ring, along with that AeroShock gel to help with drops. Fits the phone really nice, feels good in the hand. It's got kind of like a texture on the side to help with grip. Buttons, again, super clicky, very easily pressable. We do also have the reinforcements in the corners for drop protection, along with that aggressive front edge on the top and the bottom of the case, which I definitely like, because when you put a tempered glass screen protector on here, there's still going to be a really nice raised edge around the phone. You can see we've got the same texturing on the side, our lanyard hole. We've got our cutouts on the bottom, our volume and power button on the side, along with that same texturing and the lanyard hole. And on the back, again, it's got that nice Aramid fiber inlay. Feels really nice, super smooth. And again, it doesn't show fingerprints nearly as much as some of the glossy cases. And for the raised edge around our cameras, it's pretty much flush with the case. So we'll test out our MagSafe. Clips onto the back. Charges your phone. And as far as the hold, it's got a pretty good hold on your case. Definitely don't have to worry about your phone just coming off the MagSafe accessory. And because it is smooth, it kind of will rotate fairly easily on your MagSafe accessory as well. And again, because the camera lenses are flush with the case, you can use larger MagSafe accessories, no problem either. So if you want the best drop protection, again, that mouse has to offer, definitely recommend the Limitless 6.0 or the Clarity 3.0 cases. And then here we have the Limitless 6.0 in the walnut insert. This is real walnut. It's not anything fake. It does have a matte finish to it, so it helps keep fingerprints down. It's also pretty durable, and I think it looks pretty cool. Has the same AeroShock gel on the inside, along with the MagSafe and that microfiber inlay. Looks pretty cool on the phone. And it also does have MagSafe built in, so we'll test that out. Clips onto the back. has a pretty good hold as well. Again, you don't have to worry about your phone coming off the MagSafe accessory, and it's also super slick, so it'll rotate on your MagSafe accessory pretty easily. And again, you can also use the power banks as well. And then here we have the Limitless 6.0 in the stone fabric color. Looks pretty cool. It's got that gray insert that stands out from the rest of the color of the phone, and those really green AeroShock gel inserts. I think that looks pretty cool. So this case feels exactly like the other ones in the hand. It's got a little bit of a grip to it, and on the back it's got like this kind of like this fabric type material. Again, this will not show fingerprints at all. It's nice and smooth, feels really nice. It's also pretty durable, and it also works with MagSafe. It's also pretty slick, not as slick as the walnut, kind of like the Aramid fiber, but it will rotate fairly easily on your MagSafe accessory as well. It might have like a slightly less strong hold than the other two cases, but I definitely think it's adequate enough to hold your phone on the MagSafe accessory without it falling off. And then here we have the BENKS Armor Air case. This is a minimalist case. It's made from 600D Kevlar, and it's also got MagSafe built in. So here is the case, and you can see that it fits the Armor Air name because it is super light, super thin, and it's also really strong. And you can see that it's Kevlar through and through. It's not just covered in the Kevlar. We also do have MagSafe built in. I don't know where they fit MagSafe in such a thin case, but they did. And it's also got a metal ring around your camera lenses as well. So we'll put our phone inside the case. Fits the phone perfectly, feels great in the hand. It does have a little bit of a grip to it. It feels like the phone doesn't even have a case on it. You can see on the side it does have a large cutout for your buttons, so you can easily just press those instead of like a rubber button or something like that. If we look at it from the side, you can see that it does have a slight raised edge on the front, and it's super slim. I really like this Kevlar. Now, if you were to put a tempered glass screen protector on the front of this, it would pretty much take up this little lip, but I will show you what it looks like with tempered glass on it as well. On the bottom here, we do have minimal cutouts. It's not just one big piece on the bottom like some of the other Kevlar cases out there. We have a specific cutout for our speaker and our charging port. On the other side, again, it's got that big cutout for those buttons. And on the back, you can see the really nice Kevlar, feels super smooth, doesn't show fingerprints. It just looks and feels really premium. I really love that. And the way that the metal camera ring looks too, it looks pretty cool. Not too many cases have a metal camera ring, and that's what adds to the premium look of the case. You can see that it's actually raised above the camera lenses for protection there too. Now, like I mentioned, this does have MagSafe built in, so let's test out that with our MagSafe charger. Here we have a BENKS wireless charger, clips right onto the back, charges your phone immediately, and it's also got a pretty strong hold on the case. So you definitely don't have to worry about your phone case just coming off the MagSafe charger. It's on there pretty good. Yeah, very nice. So if you're looking for a minimalist case to make your phone feel like it doesn't even have a case on it but add some protection, the Armor Air case is definitely a nice choice. Another nice thing about the Kevlar is it's also scratch proof. So if you happen to, put this in your purse or your pocket or something like that with some change and it happens to rub against the case, odds are it's not going to scratch it up just like my nails do. You can see there's no scratches or anything whatsoever on the back of this case. Now, it's not to say that nothing will scratch it. If you were to take, like a razor or a sharp key or something to this, it would definitely scratch it. It wouldn't be horrible, but you would definitely see it. But it is somewhat scratch resistant. And the best way that I found to take these cases off is to kind of hold it like this in your hand and push back in each one of the corners, and the case should come off fairly easily. Just like that. So you don't ruin the case and you don't scratch up your phone. And then here we have the BENKS Armor Pro case. This case is just like the Armor Air, but it adds more protection around the side, so it is a little bit thicker, but it's also made from 600D Kevlar, and it's got MagSafe built in. So here is the case. As you can see, we have the Kevlar backing just like the Armor Air. We also do have a metal ring around our cameras, but if we take a look at the sides, you can see that it's got these rubber sides to give your phone a little bit more protection. The case is still fairly light. It's not as light as the Armor Air, but I think it's pretty close. And as you can see, we have MagSafe built in, and that Kevlar is through and through on the back of the case. The rubber is only on the sides. Fits the phone perfectly, feels good in the hand. It's not grippy, but it's also not slippery. It's got kind of like a smooth rubber type feel. As far as the buttons on the side, super clicky, easily pressable. I love it. If we take a look at the side, you can see it's got more of a raised edge on the Pro versus the Air. It also keeps your phone pretty slim. We've got our cutouts on the bottom. We have our power and volume buttons on the side. And on the back, again, shows off that Aramid fiber on the back, keeps down those fingerprints as well. Feels nice and smooth. And like I mentioned before, the Kevlar is also scratch resistant. So if you happen to have it in your pocket or your purse and some coins or something rub up against it, you don't have to worry about it getting scratched up. And for the camera ring, this one only has a very slight raised edge above these camera lenses. And as I said, this does have MagSafe built in, so we'll try that out with our MagSafe ring. Clips onto the back, charges your phone immediately, and it's also got a pretty good strong hold on there as well, so you don't have to worry about your phone just falling off your MagSafe accessory. This is my favorite case. I like a little bit more protection for my phone, but I also like to keep it nice and slim, and that's what the Armor Pro offers you. The Armor Air is still a really nice case, but it's just a little bit too thin for my liking, but they're both really nice cases. And then here we have the Samsung Silicone case. So this case does have an outer covering of silicone, but the inner shell is made of plastic and it's just covered over with the silicone. Feels nice and smooth, doesn't show any fingerprints. We also do have a metal ring for our camera protection. We've got some rubber buttons on the side, and on the inside of the case, again, is just that hard plastic. Also typical for these silicone cases, the little piece right by the charger does not have a plastic part to make it rigid, so it is kind of flimsy. So it seems to fit the phone pretty well. Feels okay in the hand. It is a little bit slippery. It feels like it's just got that smooth silicone type feel to it. As far as the buttons on the side, buttons are nice and clicky, easily pressable. If we take a look at the case from the side, you can see how much of a raised edge we do get around the front of the phone, and it also keeps the phone pretty slim. On the bottom here, again, we have our cutouts. You can see, again, that little flimsy piece right above the charger, which I wish that they would have put like a hard piece of plastic there or something to make that more rigid, because over time this seems to be a little weak point for the silicone cases. On the other side, we've got those kind of accented rubber buttons, which I like. On the back, again, it's all silicone. It's got a nice, smooth, soft feel. Doesn't show any fingerprints. And as for the metal ring around the cameras, it's almost flush. It really doesn't add a lot of protection for the phone. I would really like to see that camera ring raised up just a little bit more for some extra protection. Now, this case does not have any MagSafe built in, but you should still be able to wirelessly charge right through the case. And we can. So wireless charging is not an issue. Again, it just does not have MagSafe built in. So not a horrible case. It will add some protection to your phone. I just wish it was a little bit more grippy feeling. It is smooth. It's not slick. I think it's maybe bordering the edge of slick, but it's not there yet. It's just got that smooth silicone type feel. And I really wish that they would have made the camera ring raised up a little bit more for some protection there too. But overall, I would say it's not a bad silicone case. And then here we have the Samsung Kindsuit case. This is their kind of vegan leather case. So here is the case itself. It is made of a kind of a rigid plastic, but it does have a microfiber lining on the inside surrounded by that kind of vegan leather on the outside. Feels pretty nice and kind of soft. Doesn't show any fingerprints. Again, we've got those metal we've got the metal camera ring on the outside, and it looks like we've got some metal buttons on the side of the case as well, which is a nice touch. So we'll put our phone inside the case here. Seems to fit the phone pretty well. It is not it's not grippy, but it is slippery. It's the only thing I don't like about these cases is that slippery type feel. There's absolutely no grip on here whatsoever. So if you don't like slippery cases, I would not recommend this case for you. As far as the buttons on the side, nice and clicky, easily pressable. If we look at the case from the side, you can see how much of a raised edge we get around the front of the phone, and it also keeps the phone pretty slim. On the bottom, we've got our cutouts. On the other side, we've got those accented metal buttons, which looks pretty nice. I kind of wish that they weren't like a gold color, maybe like a silver or something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you like the color, or would you have liked it to have been something else? Let me know in the comments. On the back, again, it's got that nice kind of leather feel. I don't really smell anything. It doesn't... Yeah, I guess it does kind of smell a little bit like leather. The camera ring around the cameras is metal, but again, it's almost flush. It's slightly raised, but not a lot. So it's not going to offer your camera lenses a lot of protection there. And again, this case does not have any MagSafe built in, but you can still use it with regular wireless charging. So again, not a bad looking case. I do like the vegan leather. I like the metal buttons on the side. It's a nice premium touch, but the case is slippery. So again, if you don't like slippery cases, I would not recommend this case. And then here we have the Samsung standing grip case. So this case is kind of interesting. It seems like they went in a little different direction for the whole case. On the back, it does have this soft silicone strap on the back, so you can kind of put your finger through it. I don't know if we can, push it down like that, and it makes a little ring so you can put your fingers through it, kind of like that. And the rest of the back is also covered in the same rubbery type material. It looks like we do have a metal camera ring, but for the rest of the case, like on the sides, it's just simply a very hard, cheap feeling plastic. Not sure why they went with that and not just did the whole silicone all the way around the case. This is the first I've seen for this. And on the inside, again, it's got that kind of like a smooth plastic type feel. So we'll put our phone in the case. Seems to fit the phone pretty good. It's slippery in the hand. There's absolutely no grip on here whatsoever. Not a big fan of that. The buttons on the side are nice and clicky, easily pressable. If we take a look at the case from the side, you can also see that we don't get much of a raised edge either on the front of your phone, so not really no protection there. You can see that it does add a little bit of extra bulk to the bottom of the case here, but the sides are clear. On the bottom, it's got this really big cutout for your ports. On the other side, we've got our volume and our power button. And on the back, again, it's all that soft silicone, so it doesn't show any fingerprints. And then if you want to put your fingers through here, you just kind of slide this down. It's also got that accented inside. And you can easily hold onto your phone without having to worry about dropping it, which is pretty nice. And then it just kind of folds back into the case itself. There is like a little bump, And I'm sure the more you use it, the more that this bump will kind of stick up from the bottom of the case, but only time will tell for that. And then again, not a lot of protection for your cameras here either with this edge. I really wish that they would have raised that up. Now this does not have MagSafe built in, but let's see if it works with wireless charging, because we do have that silicone strap on the back. And it does still look like you should be able to wirelessly charge. It might depend on the wireless charger you're using, because it does raise the phone up a little bit off the charger. So the charger you're using may or may not work. You're just going to have to try it out with the charger you're using. But again, this case is slippery, and that is not something that I care for at all. I really don't know why they went with the hard plastic edges and not just the silicone all around. Your guess is as good as mine. I do like the fact that it does have a little strap in the back, but again, because the case is so slippery, I would not recommend this case. And also the fact that it does not have any raised edge on the front of your phone for any sort of protection there either is definitely not good. So if you're going to use this case, I would definitely recommend getting a tempered glass screen protector for the front. And then here we have the Samsung FlipSuit case. This case is pretty cool because the plate here with the graffiti on it does have an NFC chip built in. So when you put the case on the phone with this plate, it actually changes your wallpaper on the front of your phone to match your case. So here is the case. It is just a bumper. It's got some rubber pieces on the inside to help with drop protection, and it's surrounded by a hard outer plastic. And then you get these two interchangeable plates. Again, like I mentioned, the graffiti one here has NFC built in, so when we put it on the back of the phone, you should see a wallpaper that is similar to something like this. So all you need to do is take your bumper, make sure that it's face down, put your plate on the inside, just like this, and then put your phone inside the case. Press it into place, and we should see that lock screen change to the wallpaper. Interesting. Oh, wait, it just did it. So it took a couple seconds, but there you go. So there's the graffiti wallpaper. As you can see, it was animated, looks really cool. So every time you look at your lock screen, you can see the graffiti on the front. That's pretty cool. Case is also clear on the back to show off the color of your phone right through the graffiti. It does feel okay in the hand. Again, it feels slippery. I don't know why case manufacturers don't put grip on the side of the phone. It's not going to hurt the case any. It's just going to help you get a better grip. But this case is definitely slippery. The buttons on the side, easily pressable. Nice and clicky. If we take a look at the case from the side, you can see we do have a slight raised edge on the front of the phone. We also do have some reinforcements in these corners as well to help with drops. On the bottom here, we have our cutouts. On the other side, we've got the volume and our power button. And on the back, again, it's kind of like a matte material. So it's going to keep those fingerprints down, but yet still show off the color of your phone through the case, which is nice. And for our camera protection, it's almost non-existent. This ring is pretty much flush with those camera lenses. I don't know why Samsung opted to do that. Just raise it up a little bit. It's not going to hurt the case at all. But this case, again, does not have MagSafe built in, but you can wirelessly charge right through the case. So pretty cool case idea. Don't like the fact that it feels super slippery. And if you don't like slippery cases, I would not recommend this case to you. Again, I really wish they would have put a higher raised edge for the camera lens protectors. But the NFC chip for the wallpaper is a pretty cool idea. Now let's take the bumper off our phone and we'll put this other back plate in here. And that's what that looks like on the back. It's got those kind of like those lines in there. And this back plate is glossy, so it is going to pick up some fingerprints. But you can see your phone color a lot better. And it's just got those like plastic lines on the inside. I like the graffiti backplate myself, but which one do you guys like? Let me know in the comments below. And then here we have the RINGKE Onyx case. So this case doesn't have any rigid parts on it. It's made of a flexible type of TPU material. It does have a matte backing, which I really like. Doesn't show any fingerprints. Put our phone inside the case. This case does also come in multiple different colors in case you don't like the green. Feels good in the hand. As far as the buttons goes, buttons are nice and clicky, easily pressable. If we take a look at it from the side, you can see that we do have a pretty good raised edge on the top and the bottom of the case. We do have some texturing on the side to help with grip. We've got some reinforcements in the corners to help with drop protection. We've got our lanyard hole at the bottom here, cutouts in the bottom. We've got another lanyard hole on the other side, the textured sides, along with our volume and power buttons. And on the back, it's got that subtle type texture on the back so it doesn't show any fingerprints. And for the cameras, we do have a slight raised edge to protect our cameras there too. This is one of my more favorite RINGKE cases. Very simple, doesn't add a lot of really any extra bulk to the phone, keeps it nice and slim. And I do like the kind of rough texturing on the back as well. This case does not have MagSafe built in, but you can wirelessly charge right through the case. I do like the fact that it feels good in the hand. It's got a little bit of a texturing. I do also like the fact that you get a nice raised edge on the top and the bottom of the case itself. And again, I do like the rough texturing on the back. And then here we have the RINGKE Silicone magnetic case. So this case feels and looks pretty nice. It is made of like a hard plastic surrounded by a soft silicone material. And on the inside, it also does have MagSafe along with a microfiber all the way around the edges and the back of the case itself too. And again, just like all the silicone cases, the little part above the charging portion is just like a little piece of silicone. That's always like the weak point of silicone cases. So the case fits the phone perfectly, feels pretty good in the hand. It does have a little bit of a grip to it as far as the buttons on the side. Buttons are nice and clicky, easily pressable. If we take a look at the case from the side, you can see how much of a raised edge we get all the way around the front of the phone. It also keeps the phone pretty slim. We've got our charging ports on the bottom here, our rubberized volume and power button on the other side. On the back, again, it's got all that silicone, nice and soft, doesn't show any fingerprints, and we also don't get a lot of camera protection either on the back. It's almost flush. There's just an ever so slight raised edge. But the one really nice thing about this is it does have MagSafe built in. So if you do have like a power bank that uses MagSafe, you can kind of just clip it onto the back here. It starts to charge your phone. And it's got a pretty good hold on the back as well. Not bad at all. Your phone isn't going to just fall off the MagSafe accessory. It's holding on pretty good. And you can also use this with regular wireless charging as well. Seems like a really nice case. Feels good in the hand. It's not slippery. But again, the only part of the silicone cases that are always the weak point is going to be the little part over the charging port here. So over time, that may kind of sag and kind of come off from the case itself. But other than that, not a bad silicone case. And then here we have the RINGKE Fusion Clear magnetic case. So this case does have MagSafe built in, and it also does have a nice firm hard backing surrounded by a softer rubbery type material. It also has some stickers on the inside that you're going to want to remove before you put your phone in the case. So you can see that it is glossy and it's also nice and clear to show off the color of your phone. Fits the phone really well. Feels nice in the hand. It does have a slight bit of grip to it as far as the buttons on the side. Buttons are nice and clicky, easily pressable. If we take a look at the case from the side, you can see that it does have a slight raised edge on the top and the bottom of the phone as well. We've got some bumpers in the corners for drop protection. You can see it shows off the color of your phone. We'd have a slight thickness on the bottom. That's because of the MagSafe. We've got our charging cutouts on the bottom. We've got our volume button and our power button on the side, which is slightly textured. We have a lanyard hole in the side, and on the back, again, shows off the color of your phone. We've got that MagSafe ring on the back, and we also do have a slight raised edge for your camera lens protection as well. And as far as fingerprints, it does pick up some smudges, you see right at the bottom here, but not too bad. You should be able to just wipe those away without any problems. Now this also does have MagSafe, so we can use our MagSafe accessories such as this power bank here. Clips onto the back, charges your phone immediately. And as far as the hold, it's got an okay hold on the back, not too bad. The only thing is if you're using a big power bank like I am here, it might touch the camera ring, which kind of lifts up the MagSafe accessory, not allowing it to get a full grip on the case. So the hold is comparable to the silicone, maybe just a little bit less, but I definitely don't think that your phone is just going to fall off your MagSafe accessory or the other way around. It's got an okay hold. Like I said, it's not the strongest that I felt. So not a bad clear case. I do like the inclusion of the MagSafe. It's got a nice raised edge on the front, and it shows off the color of your phone. And then here we have the RINGKE Fusion X case. So this case does have a hard plastic backing surrounded by a softer rubbery type material. And this is also one of my favorite RINGKE cases as well because it adds a little bit more protection, looks rugged while keeping your phone somewhat slim. Now this does also have these little stickers on the inside and outside that you want to remove before you put your phone inside the case. They have a camo one in this version, which is my favorite, but the clear is pretty cool as well. Fits the phone really well, feels great in the hand. It does have some texture on the side to help with grip, and the buttons are also raised off the case a little bit more than usual. Nice and clicky, easily pressable, and if we take a look at the case from the side, you can see how much of a raised edge we get on the top and the bottom of the case. And you can also see how it keeps the phone pretty slim. It's just a little bit thicker on the top portion here. It's also got reinforcements in the corners to help with drops. We've got that texturing on the side, our lanyard hole. We have our cutouts on the bottom. Power button and volume buttons on the side. You can see they've got some texturing of their own. They've got this little dip for your pinky, or actually your index finger, sorry. And it's also got that same texturing on the bottom with our lanyard hole. And on the back, shows off the color of your phone. It is glossy, so it's going to pick up a little bit of fingerprints, but it does show off the color of your phone very nicely. And we also do have a pretty good raised edge around those camera lenses as well. And because of these little kind of nubs on the side, when you put your phone down and you're typing, you don't have to worry about the phone rocking back and forth at all. Definitely a really nice case. If you want a little bit more protection for your phone while keeping your phone pretty slim, I would definitely recommend the Fusion X case. Now, as you can see, it doesn't have any MagSafe, but you can still wirelessly charge right through this case as well. And then here we have the I-BLASON Armorbox case in their tilt color. This is one of, again, my more favorite cases for drop protection. And it's also not super bulky. It's got a built-in film screen protector, and you can see how aggressive these corners are for your drop protection. It's got a nice hard backing. It's got MagSafe built in, and it's also got a metal cover for your cameras that also acts as a kickstand. Super sturdy. And it's also got a rubber edge all the way around the phone to help with grip. Now this is a two-piece case. It's got an inner shell surrounded by an outer shell. And the way that we put this on our phone is you just kind of find this little edge here with this little kind of cut in. And then we can maybe, push it back with our thumb and then peel out the inner protector just like this. So here's the outer shell, here's the inner shell, and this is what's going to go over your phone. But first you need to make sure that your phone is totally clean on the front because we don't want anything trapped underneath the screen protector. So once you've cleaned off your phone screen, take your screen protector, making sure the camera cutout is going towards the camera on your phone, and we're going to peel off the inner protector. And then we need to remove this little piece right here. Just try not to touch the inner screen protector while you're doing it. It's a little tough, but you should be able to do it just like that. And then take this whole thing, put it over the top of your phone, and just kind of press it into place. So it'll look just like that. Then take this whole thing and we're going to press it into the outer shell all the way around the edge. And then peel off the top protector. Now this little piece here for the fingerprint sensor, you want to make sure that it does not have any bubbles, so push those out. We want it to be as flat as possible so it doesn't interfere with our fingerprints. And it should look just like that. So as you can see, we do have the camera cutout along with some holes for the speaker grill. Feels great in hand. It's got some grip to it along with these aggressive textures on the side. As far as the buttons are nice and clicky, easily pressable. And if we look at the case from the side, you can see how much of a raised edge we get around the front of the phone. And it also doesn't make your phone super bulky, but just a little bit. But I think it adds a lot more protection and it's totally worth it. We've got the texturing on the side, those aggressive corners again. On the bottom, we have our covered charging port and our cutout for our speaker. And on the other side, we've got our volume buttons with our power button and that texturing again. We do have a lanyard hole in the corner. And on the back, it's got that industrial type look. It is hard plastic. We've got the MagSafe ring right here. This piece here is metal again, covers your cameras, keeps them protected. It's got like this knurling on the back. And then when you open it up, you can still see how much of a raised edge we get for camera protection. We've got like this kind of like microfiber material on the inside so it doesn't scratch up your lenses. And this does also fold totally back on itself and out of the way. But you can also use it as a little kickstand as well, which is nice. And your phone will stand up upside down. Or you can kind of lay it down more towards your face as well. Works out really good. Clips into place. Does not just flop around. It's got a nice strong hinge and it stays closed. So now let's test out our fingerprints. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to go into our display, go all the way down, and we're going to turn up the touch sensitivity of our screen. Then we're going to go into our security and we're going to re-register our fingerprints. All right, so our fingerprints went in pretty good. Now we're going to test them out. And they seem to be working just fine. Yeah, really quick, no issues with your fingerprints. So again, if you are having issues with your fingerprints, just turn up the touch sensitivity and just re-register your fingerprints and you shouldn't have any problems. Now the screen is somewhat smooth. There is a little bit of resistance because it is plastic, it's not glass. And it also seems to pick up some fingerprints as well. Let's see how easily we can wipe those away. So not too bad. Seems like you can very easily wipe those away. There is a little bit of resistance, but for the most part, I think it looks pretty good. So now let's take a look at the screen as if we were looking at it through polarized sunglasses. And we can see for the most part, there's not really a rainbow effect until you start to twist and turn the screen. But if you're looking at it dead on, this is pretty much what you're going to see. I think it looks pretty good. Now, since the phone does have MagSafe, we're going to test that out. We've got our MagSafe charger here. Clips right onto the back. Charges your phone immediately. And as far as the hold, it's got a super strong hold. Holy cow. So you really don't have to worry about your phone just coming off your MagSafe accessory. It's on there pretty good. Now, the one thing I will tell you about this case, the reason why I used this MagSafe charger is because it fits perfectly on the ring. But if you're going to be using a MagSafe charger like this, it's a power bank, kind of like a rectangle, it's not going to have as strong of a hold. And this little thing here, the little camera cover, you need to like lift it up so this piece can fit flush on the case. If you do that, it'll have a nice strong hold. But if this is down, or if it's over on this side, the power bank will actually rest on the camera cover itself. You can see it's touching the edge just a little bit, and that decreases the hold, I would think, significantly. It doesn't have as strong of a hold, but if you rotate it just a little bit like this, you can see it no longer touches your camera cover, and now it's super strong, just like the other one. So that's one downside about this little camera cover, is the fact that a MagSafe accessory like this will kind of get caught on that cover, lift it up, and the magnet won't be as strong. But again, if it's rotated, super strong. Again, you don't have to worry about the phone just falling off your MagSafe accessory. But really nice case. Again, one of my favorites. Everything about this case is really nice. It's going to offer your phone some really good protection. Comes with the built-in screen protector, has the metal camera cover that doubles as a kickstand, and it's also got MagSafe built in. And then here we have the SUPCASE UB Pro Case. This is another one of my favorite cases for drop protection. It comes with a nice 360-degree rotating belt clip, and it also has a plastic kickstand built into the case. It is made of a two-piece design, but it comes with an inner portion that does have a screen protector, and it also comes with another piece to where you can use your own tempered glass screen protector as well. It's got a pretty solid clip on the back, and again, like I said, it rotates 360 degrees. Now, we are going to be testing out the built-in screen protector, because if you have your own tempered glass, you already know how that works. But before we do that, we need to make sure that our phone screen is thoroughly cleaned, because we don't want anything being trapped inside. So once that's clean, just take your top protector. We're going to peel off the inner protector just like that. Then we need to peel off this little piece here. And then place this whole thing on the top of your phone, making sure that the camera cutout is going towards the camera on your phone. And just press that into place. Now we're going to have to put this whole thing inside this outer shell, but first we need to take out the inner shell that's already in there. And the way that I do that is by taking a plastic pick and just kind of pushing it inside the corner of this case. That's like the easiest way that I found to do it, and then you can just kind of pull it out just like that. So then we'll take this whole piece here, place it inside this case, then just work your way around the edges, making sure that the case fits together perfectly. And then once that's done, you can take off the outer protector. Then for the fingerprint sensor hole, just make sure there are no bubbles. Case feels really nice in the hand. It's got kind of like a rubbery type feel to it. Buttons on the side, easily pressable, nice and clicky. You can see that if we take a look at the side, we do have a raised edge all the way around the front of the phone. It does add a little bit of extra bulk to your phone as well, but we do get that built-in kickstand, which I'll show you in just a minute. We've got the texturing on the side to help with grip. It's got some really aggressive bumps on the top for drop protection. We've got our covered charging port on the bottom here. On the other side, we've got our power and volume buttons, along with that texturing, some lanyard holes in the corners, and on the back, it is made of a hard plastic. We've got that plastic kickstand that clips into place, so you can use your phone in a landscape or a portrait mode, and then it just clips right back into the case itself. Nice and flush, and we do have a really good raised edge around our camera lenses for protection there too. Really nice case. I really like this case, and it's definitely one of my picks if you want to protect your phone from drops. Now, because this case is so thick, it may or may not work with your wireless charging, but it should work with like a flat wireless charger like this, and it does. And for the belt clip, you can put your phone two different ways. You can either put your phone with the screen facing outward, or if you want more protection, you can also turn it around and put your screen inward, and it holds it right into place, so you don't have to worry about the phone just falling out. So let's take a look at our phone as if we're looking at it through polarized sunglasses. And you can see that it's got a slight rainbow effect. You can kind of see that fingerprint hole at the bottom there. If you're looking at it dead on, this is pretty much what you're going to see. Just a slight, like a bluish color. But if you start to twist and turn it, that's when the rainbow effect gets a little more prominent. So now let's test out our fingerprints. Fingerprints seem to be working pretty good. Yeah. No issues there. So if you are having trouble with your fingerprints, again, turn up the touch sensitivity of your display and just re-register your fingerprints, and you shouldn't have any issues. Really nice case, feels good in the hand. I like the inclusion of the built-in kickstand, great for protection, and it's covered 360 degrees. Then as far as the touch and feel of the screen itself, it does have a little bit of resistance when you run your finger over it because it is plastic. And it does pick up a little bit of fingerprints on the screen, as you can see there, but you should be able to very easily wipe those away with minimal effort. Not too bad. And as far as the touch goes, you can see the touch is working perfectly fine. No issues there. Yeah. And then here we have the POETIC Guardian case with MagSafe built in. This is another really nice case for drop protection. It's got a nice firm hard backing surrounded by a firm rubbery material, and this is also a two-piece design case. So it's got an outer shell and it's also got this inner plastic lining, and it also comes with two different options. One that's got a built-in film screen protector, and it's got one that doesn't have anything in case you want to use your own protector on your phone. Then the way that you can get the inner protector out is you can kind of press back in the corner with your thumb and then just kind of pull out that inner protector just like that. Now, before we put our shell over our phone, you want to make sure that it's thoroughly cleaned off because we don't want anything trapped underneath. Then once your phone is cleaned off, we're going to take the portion of the inner shell that does have the film screen protector. We're going to peel off the protector. And then we need to peel off this little part here. Then place this whole thing over the top of your phone, making sure that the camera cutout is going towards the camera on your phone. And we can just press this into place. Then put this whole thing into the outer portion and press it into place all the way around. So it should end up looking just like that, and then we can peel off the top protector. Looks really nice, feels good in the hand. It does have a slight bit of grip to it, but mostly it feels like a smooth, rubbery type material. As far as the buttons on the side, nice and clicky, easily pressable. You also want to make sure that the little cutout here for your fingerprints don't have any bubbles, and it's totally flat with your screen. So if you do see any bubbles, just kind of push those out with your finger. If we look at the case from the side, you can see how much of a raised edge we get on the front of the phone. On the side here, we do get these slight texturing for grip. We've got some reinforcements in the corners to help with drops. We've got our covered charging port on the bottom here, along with our speaker cutout. On the other side, we've got the same texturing with our power and volume buttons. On the back, nice and clear to show off the color of your phone. There's also a protective cover on the back. And there's also one on the inside that I forgot to take out. I didn't even see it. But we do get that MagSafe. You can see that it is nice and clear on the back. And we do have a raised edge for camera protection there too. Looks really nice. So let's test out our MagSafe. Charges your phone immediately. And as far as the hold, it's got a pretty good strong hold on the back of the phone. Now, one thing I will tell you is if you're going to be using a MagSafe charger or a power bank like this that is rectangle and large, it will probably overlap and get stuck on the edge of the camera lens there, which will decrease the hold on the overall case. As you can see, I'm barely even really taking this off of the case. It wasn't as strong as the other MagSafe charger I was using because it just simply covered the MagSafe ring. This one is super strong. It's got a pretty good strong hold on the back, but if you're going to be using a power bank like this, just know that the MagSafe hold isn't going to be as strong. But it will still charge your phone. So now let's take a look at our screen. You can see that it does pick up some fingerprints on the front there because it is a film, it's not glass. So there's no oleophobic coating. And it will take just a little bit more effort to get rid of those fingerprints, but it can be done fairly easily. So now let's test out our fingerprints. Fingerprints seem to be working just fine. Again, if you're having issues, just re-register your fingerprints. And I would also turn up the touch sensitivity on your phone. So now let's take a look at the screen as if we were looking at it through polarized sunglasses. And you can see that it looks pretty clear. And if we twist and turn it, there's still really no rainbow effect. So that's definitely a plus. But you can see the little fingerprint hole at the bottom here. And as far as touch, it does have a little bit of resistance when you're running your finger over the screen because it's not glass, it is plastic, but touch seems to be working just fine. No issues with touch. So a pretty good case, feels good in the hand. It is good for drop protection. You're covered on the back and the front of your phone, and it's also got MagSafe built in. And you can also get the POETIC Guardian without the MagSafe ring on the back as well, so you can totally show off the color of your phone unobstructed. And then here we have the SPIGEN Liquid Air case. So this case is pretty simple. It's just made of a very flexible type TPU material, and it's got like this kind of like this diamond pattern texture on the back. We'll put our phone inside the case. Fits the phone really well. Feels pretty good in the hand. It does have a little bit of texturing to help with grip on the sides. It's not slippery. As far as the buttons on the side, nice and clicky, easily pressable. If we take a look at the case from the side, you can see we do have a even raised edge all the way around the front of the phone. We've got our texturing on the sides. It also keeps the phone pretty slim. We've got our cutouts on the bottom here, our textured power button and our volume buttons, along with the lanyard hole and the texturing on the side. On the back, again, it's got that kind of diamond pattern texture. It is pretty smooth. You don't really feel the texturing when you run your finger over it, but if you use your fingernail, that's when you really feel and hear it. And as far as our camera protection, the case is pretty much flush with the lenses. I would really like to see a raised edge on the back for just a little bit of protection. This does not have MagSafe built in, but you can use it with regular wireless charging. So definitely not a horrible case. It does feel pretty good in hand. The only thing I would like to see is a much larger raised edge on the back for some more camera protection. Then here we have the SPIGEN Ultra Hybrid S case. This has a built-in metal kickstand. So this case feels a little bit heavier than most. That's probably because of the metal kickstand on the back. It does have a hard backing surrounded by a rubbery type material on the sides, and it's also got MagSafe built in. Now there are also some protectors you need to peel out before you put your phone inside the case. Fits the phone really well, feels great in the hand. It does have a little bit of a grip to it, and the buttons on the side are easily pressable, nice and clicky. If we look at the case from the side, you can see we do have a slight raised edge all the way around the front of the phone. We've got some reinforcement bubbles in the corners for drop protection, and you can also see that thicker back plate of the case because of the kickstand. They wanted to make it flush. We've got our cutouts on the bottom. We've got our textured power button and our volume buttons on the side, our lanyard hole at the bottom and on the back. Again, it's nice and clear to show off the color of your phone. Looks really nice. Again, it's got this really solid metal kickstand. It's not flimsy. It pretty much stays anywhere you want it, and you can use your phone in a portrait or even a landscape mode. And then it folds right back into the case nice and flush. So we got our MagSafe ring on the back, and again, for some reason, not a lot of protection for our camera lenses. It's almost flush. So let's test out our MagSafe. I've got our MagSafe power bank here. Turn that on really quick. Clip onto the back. Charges your phone. And as far as the hold, it's got a pretty good hold on the back as well. You don't have to worry about your MagSafe accessory just falling off your phone. It's on there pretty good. And this also does work with regular wireless charging as well. And as far as fingerprints, it does seem to do a pretty good job at rejecting fingerprints too, which is nice. Very cool case. So I absolutely love the metal kickstand. I like the inclusion of the MagSafe ring. I would like to see more of a raised edge for your camera lens protection. And it also feels pretty good in the hand. And you can also get the exact same case without the metal kickstand, but it does have the MagSafe ring, and that's just the SPIGEN Ultra Hybrid. And then here we have the SPIGEN Tough Armor AI case. So this is a two-piece design case. It does have a hard outer plastic shell with a softer rubbery type inner shell, along with these kind of foam pieces to help with drop protection. We've got MagSafe built in, and it's also got this little plastic kickstand on the back. It's pretty flimsy, but it does the job. So it fits the phone pretty good. Feels okay in the hand. It is kind of slick. I think it's on the verge of being slippery. It's got kind of like a smooth rubbery type feel. As far as the buttons on the side, buttons are nice and clicky, easily pressable. If we take a look at the case from the side, you can see how much of a raised edge we get around the front. It also doesn't add a lot of extra bulk to the phone. We've got some reinforcements in the corners to help with drops. On the bottom, we've got our cutouts. On the other side, we've got our volume and textured power button. Now, the one thing about these buttons on the side is you can see they're pretty flush with the case. And if you were to try to find these buttons without actually seeing where you're pressing, you might not be able to find them except for the textured power button. So it's just something to keep in mind. But on the back, it's got kind of like that, like a matte, smooth feel. Keeps down the fingerprints. We've got that kickstand. Again, it's just a simple, flimsy piece of plastic, but you can use your phone in a landscape mode. And for portrait, it's not going to work. So you can put your phone in a laying down landscape or a more standing up landscape. And then it folds right back into place. And then for our camera lenses, we do have a slightly more raised edge than some of the other SPIGEN cases as well. And like I mentioned, this also does have MagSafe built in. So we'll take our MagSafe charger, clip it onto the back, charges your phone immediately. And as far as the hold, it's got a pretty good hold on the back as well. Not the strongest hold, but definitely enough to where your phone isn't going to just fall off your MagSafe accessory. So it's not a bad case. There are some things that I would like to see a little bit better, like this kickstand here, maybe a little more substantial, more solid. I'm also not a huge fan of these two-piece designs. I would like these sides of the case to be all rubber and not this like a hard plastic. But it is going to offer your phone some drop protection, and I also do like that it's got more of a raised edge on the back for your camera lens protection as well. But I would like to see the buttons come off the case a little bit more so it's easier to find when you're not just looking directly at your phone. And then here we have the SPIGEN Parallax case. So this case is pretty simple. Again, it's made of a very flexible material. It's got this pretty interesting texture on the back. It also does have MagSafe built in. Fits the phone pretty good. Feels pretty good in the hand. It does have a little bit of a smooth plastic feel, but it's got like these ridges on the side to help with grip. As far as the buttons, nice and clicky, easily pressable, and you can see that they come off the case so you can easily find them with your finger. If we take a look at the case from the side, you can see we get a slight raised edge all the way around the front of the phone. It also keeps your phone pretty slim, and you can see those kind of ridges all the way around the phone. We've got our cutouts on the bottom, volume and power button on the side, and on the back, again, it's got that really cool, interesting texture, like a slight rough texture on the top and bottom of the case, and then this smooth piece of TPU or whatever, just to give it a little accent. And as far as your camera protection, there's really not a lot. It's got a almost flush raised edge on the back, so your cameras aren't really protected. Then, like I mentioned, this case also does have MagSafe built in, so we'll test that out with our MagSafe power bank. Clips onto the back, charges your phone immediately. And as far as the hold, it's pretty weak. Not strong at all, but it's strong enough to hold your phone against the MagSafe accessory. As long as you're not moving it around a lot, you should be okay. So it's definitely a cool looking case. I do like the texture on the back, but I think that might be the reason why the MagSafe is not as strong. I would really like to see more of a raised edge for your camera protection. But the phone does feel pretty good in the hand, and I really do like how the buttons on the side here are raised up off the case so you can easily find them. And then here we have the SPIGEN Rugged Armor Case. So I say this in every video that I do for the Rugged Armor Case. This is another one of my more favorite SPIGEN cases. Reason being is because it's a very simple case, but it does offer your phone some pretty good protection while keeping your phone pretty slim. I also really love the fact that it's got like that subtle rough texture on the back. Feels good in the hand, and it's also got that carbon fiber inlay. In this particular case, it does also have MagSafe built in, and it's also got these foam pads to help with drop protection as well. So it fits the phone really good, feels good in the hand. It's got some texturing on the side. As far as the buttons are nice and clicky, easily pressable. And if we take a look at the case from the side, we can see we do have a slight raised edge all the way around the front of the phone. We also have the kind of rough versus texture, like raised up texture on the side. That definitely helps with grip. We've got some little reinforcements again with those foam pads in the corners, cutouts on the bottom. We've got our lanyard hole on the other side along with that textured grip, our serrated power button and volume buttons. And on the back, again, it's got that nice subtle kind of rough texture. We've got our carbon fiber inlays on the top and the bottom of the case. And we also do get a slightly taller raised edge for our camera protection too. Really nice case. Again, if you want some protection for your phone and keep your phone pretty slim, I would definitely recommend the Rugged Armor. Now this does also have MagSafe built in, so we'll test that out. Got our MagSafe power bank, clips onto the back, charges your phone immediately. And as far as the hold, again, it's kind of weak. Not the best. That seems to be a low point for some of these cases, is the MagSafe hold. Really not that strong. But again, it will hold your phone to your MagSafe accessory. Just don't move it around too much, and your phone should not fall off your MagSafe accessory. But other than the magnetic hold, the phone feels really nice. I like that texture, keeps down the fingerprints. We've got a more raised edge for protection for our lenses. The case feels good in the hand. It's got that nice texturing on the side, and it also keeps your phone pretty slim. And then here we have the PITAKA Ultra Slim case. This case is made from 600D Aramid fiber, and it's super light, super thin, and it's got MagSafe built in. This is definitely one of my more favorite minimalist Aramid fiber cases because it's super light, it's super thin, and somehow they found a way to put MagSafe into this case. It also feels and looks really premium. It's got a metal ring for your camera lens protection, and because it's matte, it keeps down those fingerprints as well. You can see how thin that case is. So put our phone inside the case. Fits the phone really well. Doesn't even feel like there's a case on my phone. That's how thin it is. Feels good in the hand. It's got a little bit of a grip to it. You can see that your buttons on the side don't have any covers, so you're actually pressing the buttons on the side of the phone, so they're going to be nice and clicky. If we take a look at the case on the side, you can see we do have a slight raised edge on some portions of the front of the phone. So if you put a tempered glass screen protector on your phone itself, it will be pretty much flush with the case then. But you can see it keeps your phone super slim, just like there wasn't even a case on there. We have our cutouts on the bottom. You can also see that unlike some of the other Aramid fiber cases out there, there is no large cutout. They made these cutouts pretty precisely to cover as much of the bottom of the phone as possible. We've got our cutouts for our volume and power button on the side, and on the back you can see that 600D Aramid fiber. It's nice and smooth, and as you can see, it keeps down the fingerprints. We also have these metal camera rings for our cameras. They don't come up off the camera very much, so they offer just a slight protection for your lenses, but it looks really cool, nice and premium. Then we'll test out our MagSafe. Clips right onto the back, charges your phone immediately, and it's got a super strong hold on the back as well. So you don't have to worry about your phone falling off your MagSafe accessory. It's on there pretty good. And that is incredible considering how thin this case is. Really nice case. Again, it feels good in the hand. It's not slippery. And it just looks super premium. If you love the way that your phone feels without a case on it, but you want just a little bit of protection, definitely recommend the PITAKA Ultra Slim case. And not only does it keep down those fingerprints, but it's also somewhat scratch resistant as well. So you can see that it is somewhat resistant to scratches. Of course, if you were to take a sharp key or something to the back, you'll probably see some lines, but for the most part, it does a pretty good job at not showing anything when it's getting scratched. Then the easiest way that I found to take these cases off the phone is to hold it along the side here, hold it with your fingers in the back, and then push off into the corners of the case. You can see that it kind of comes off, and you just press it or pull it out the rest of the way, and you're all set. And here we have the VRS DESIGN Orb Case. This case does have a card holder on the back that you can easily access by just flipping down the back of this case. You can do it with one finger, and it's surrounded by a kind of like a TPU, TPE type material case. On the inside, it's got a clear inner shell so you can see the cards on the inside. Fits the phone really well, feels good in the hand. It does have a kind of like a smooth rubbery type feel to it. It is not slippery. As far as the buttons are nice and clicky, easily pressable. And if we take a look at the case from the side, you can see that it does have a slight raised edge all the way around the front of the phone. It does add a little bit of extra bulk to your phone, but you are getting that card holder on the back. We've got our lanyard hole in the corner, cutouts on the bottom. We've got our power and volume buttons on the side. We also have another lanyard hole, and on the back, it's got that really cool kind of metallic looking card holder. This is made of plastic, but it's pretty solid. Kind of assisted opening, pretty cool. And like I mentioned, you can put about 3 to 4 different cards in here at one time. Now the biggest thing about that is to put that many cards in the back of the case, you will need to make sure that they don't have any embossments on them. Just kind of slide this in the back. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then just closes right back up. So now you've got 4 different cards in here. Again, like I mentioned, you can probably leave your wallet at home, because why would you need more than 4 cards at a time if you're going out? Maybe on a trip or something like that, but for going out day to day, I would think 4 cards is perfectly fine, because you still have the option to pay for things with your phone. Again, 1 finger opening and closing, very easy. Looks pretty cool. Then to get the cards out, now obviously to get to the bottom of the stack, you will need to kind of just pull almost all the cards out, but you can do that, or you can just do, you know, 1 at a time if you need. Pretty easy to get those out. Now because we do have so many cards in here, and because it is so thick, I don't think this is going to work with wireless charging. No. So you're not going to be able to use wireless charging with pretty much any of these cases. You will just need to plug it into the bottom. Now the one thing I will mention about the very bottom card for this case is it's a lot harder to get out, because there's nothing to kind of grab onto like the other cards. And if you don't have any nails, it might be a little hard to get this card out of the case. And even if you do have nails, it might be hard. It would have been nice if there was a way to just kind of like push this up to kind of like make this slide up out of the case. But that's the only thing, is you might have some issues trying to get this last card out of the case. That's the only issue. And then here we have the VRS DESIGN Orb Case. This is kind of like the Orb Fit, but the Orb actually has a plastic kickstand that comes out in addition to that wallet, which is really nice. Again, we have the same clear centerpiece here, so you can see if there's any cards in your case. So we'll put our phone in the case here. Fits the phone really well, feels good in the hand. It's not grippy, but it's got kind of like a smooth rubbery type feel. As far as the buttons on the side, nice and clicky, easily pressable. You can also see that it's got a slight raised edge on the front of the phone, and it also adds a little bit of extra bulk to the phone. But again, you are getting the wallet and the kickstand. We've got our cutouts on the bottom, volume and power button on the side, along with that lanyard hole. On the back, again, it's got that wallet that you can easily open with 1 finger, and then we also have that plastic kickstand on the back as well. And if you are putting your phone on its back, you don't have to worry about anything touching the camera lenses, because we do have this big bump, but there is a pretty good raised edge to protect our camera lenses just in case. So as far as the kickstand goes, it clips, it kind of flips open. You can use your phone in a landscape or a portrait mode. And then it just kind of clips right back into place. And then for our card holder, again, you can put up to 4 cards in here that are flat with no embossment. Or maybe not. So this seems like it's only 3. Yeah, so 3 cards for this case. The Orb Fit actually fit 4, but this one can only do 3. Again, you can very easily open it with 1 finger, and then to get out your cards, you kind of lift up like that. Let's see how easy it is to get to that last card. So again, this is kind of like the same issue. You might have a little problem getting to that last card if you don't have any nails, but if you do have nails, you can kind of get it behind the card and then lift it out. But up to 3 cards in the back, and it closes up really easily. I personally like the kickstand case. I'll sacrifice the 1 card to have this kickstand on here, just because if you're eating lunch or something like that and you need something to stand your phone up on, you're going to have it right in your case. And if we open that up and put this in here, nope. You can lay it down in landscape, but for portrait, you need to have this backing closed. And again, because it is so thick, you're not going to be able to use this with wireless charging. Then here we have the VRS DESIGN Glide Duo Guard case. This case has a card holder as well as a camera cover that also acts as a kickstand. On the inside, it doesn't have that clear piece, but it does have this yellow plastic piece. Put our phone in the case. Fits the phone really well, feels good in the hand. Again, it's not slippery. It's got a little bit of a grip to it because of the texturing on the side. As far as the buttons are super easy to press, nice and clicky. You can also see that it does have a slight raised edge around the front of the phone. Now this case does add some pretty good bulk to the whole case, but again, we are getting some pretty good features as well. We have some texturing as well as these ridges on the side to help with grip. We have our lanyard hole in the corner, our cutouts on the bottom. You can see that it kind of protrudes way out from the case. We also have our volume and power buttons on the side, same texturing and ridges on the other side of the case. And on the back, again, it's got this really cool plastic wallet piece that flips open just with your 1 thumb, and you can close it with the same hand. Whereas like the Orb and the Orb Fit, you kind of had to press with the other hand to kind of close that. With this, you don't. We also have a metal piece on the top and the bottom to kind of make it look like to give it a little more premium look. We also have a camera cover here. This camera cover is made of plastic, but it also acts as a kickstand that has a couple different orientations. So you can use this to kind of have your phone angled up more, or you can also lay it down a little more as well. So a couple little adjustments there. It will not fold back in itself, so you're probably going to have this closed most of the time, so it's nice and flat, but it does cover your camera, and this is really good, and it's very easy to open. So we'll see how many cards we can fit into this case. So 4 cards fit in here with no embossment. Closes very easily, and you can easily open it up. And to get your cards out here, you kind of just pick them up from the edge and pull them out. See how easy it is to get that last card. So here it seems like it's a little easier to get that last card, maybe. Yeah, it seems like it's a little easier, maybe because there's more surface to grab onto, but it seems to be a little easier. But it's also kind of like a fidget toy too. You can just kind of flip it open and closed as much as you want. Pretty cool case. And again, because this is so bulky and you have your cards back here, this case is not going to work with wireless charging. But let's see how easy it is to wire charge this. So you will have to have a slightly thin charging cable to get in here, which shouldn't be too much of an issue. You can kind of get something flat like this one and put it into the bottom, and then you can charge your phone. And then here we have the Glide Pro case. This case also does have the wallet piece in the back that just kind of flips open with 1 finger. It does not have any protection for your camera covers. And on the inside, it has that same yellow kind of plastic piece. So we'll put our phone in the case. Feels nice in the hand. It does have some grip to it because we've got these ridges on the side. As far as the buttons are nice and clicky, easily pressable. You can also see that it does have a slight raised edge around the front of the phone, and it does add a pretty good amount of bulk to the phone too, but we do get that wallet on the back. We've got these rigid textures on the side, our lanyard hole in the corner, our cutouts on the bottom, volume and power buttons on the side, but you can see that they're slightly oversized, so you can very easily find them. We've got the ridges along the other side too, and on the back it's got this really cool textured wallet cover that you can very easily slide open with one hand and close it with one hand as well. We've got metal inserts on the top and the bottom as well. And you can see that we do have a slight raised edge for our camera protection too. But because of the wallet, if you put it on its back, nothing's really going to touch your camera lenses anyway. So now let's see how many cards we can fit into the back of this case. So 4 cards will fit in the back that don't have any embossment, and you can very easily close and open the back cover with one hand. Fits really nice. I love flicking this thing open and close. It's kind of like a little fidget toy, and I think it looks pretty cool with the red backing. Now, because this case is so thick, it's not going to work with wireless charging, so you will need to plug in your phone to charge it. And if you have a phone charger that's about this thick, it will easily fit into the bottom of your phone. And it's in there pretty good. And if you want to get the cards out of the phone too, it's fairly easily. You can kind of pick out maybe like all the cards all at once, or if you want to just get one card out at a time, you can do that as well. Just kind of like lift up on one of the cards and pull it out. Or you can kind of pull them all out at once if you want. So that's pretty nice. And then here we have the Magic Stand case by CASEKOO. And here is the case. It does have a metal MagSafe ring on the back that does also act as a kickstand. Seems really sturdy. The only thing is it doesn't rotate, it just goes up and down, but you can use your phone in a portrait and a landscape mode. This is also magnetic, so when your phone is in here, you can kind of stick your case onto metal things, and it should have enough hold to stick, but we will test that. The back has a nice, firm, hard backing that is all matte, surrounded by a softer, rubbery type material. This case is also military grade drop tested. Fits the phone really well. Feels pretty good in the hand. It does have a smooth rubber feel to it. It's not grippy. Buttons on the side, easily pressable, nice and clicky. You can see that the front of the phone has a pretty even edge all the way around the phone screen. Not a lot of raised edge, but there is some. So if you are putting a tempered glass screen protector on your phone, that will decrease that slight raised edge, so just keep that in mind. It also keeps the phone fairly slim. We've got our lanyard holes at the bottom here, our cutouts. We've got our volume and power button on the other side. And on the back, again, it's got that nice matte look to help keep down fingerprints. You will most likely get some slight smudges here and there, but for the most part, it will keep those fingerprints down. Again, we have the MagSafe ring that does also act as a kickstand. So again, you can use it in a landscape or portrait mode, and you can also kind of angle it down a little bit more towards your face. And there it is in the landscape. Seems to work pretty well. And then it folds right back up into the back of the case, nice and flush. We also do have a very slight raised edge for our camera lens covers on the back. Not a lot of protection there, but there is some. Now, because this does have MagSafe, we'll test that out with our MagSafe charger here. Clips right onto the back, starts to charge your phone immediately. And as far as the hold, it's got a fairly decent hold. The only thing about these types of cases is the weak point is going to be that hinge. You can see how the MagSafe charger sticks onto the ring, but it doesn't kind of hold onto the phone very well because of the hinge, and that's the weak point. So when you're kind of pulling it off, it's going to move, off the case. That may or may not bother you, but it's just something to note. But as far as the hold, it's got an okay hold. It's not the strongest hold that I felt, but it does seem adequate. Let's test out one of our other MagSafe chargers here. Again, charges your phone. And the hold is about the same here. I think it's adequate, but if you're moving it, you can see that the phone will like... Then let's test out our MagSafe power bank here. Clips onto the back, charges your phone immediately again. And it's got about the same hold. It's adequate to hold your phone and MagSafe accessory together. But if you're going to be moving your phone around a lot, that hinge is still a little bit of the weak point. But it seems like the kind of bigger power banks will stick onto the back a lot better than just the ones that go onto the MagSafe ring. And I do also like the matte look to show off the color of your phone. I think that looks pretty cool. And as I said, this case is also magnetic, so if you try to stick it to things that are metal, like you see here in this video, I'm sticking it to my PC case. It does kind of have enough hold to hold it onto the case itself, but it will typically slide a little bit. So whatever you're going to be sticking it on, it needs to be a solid metal surface for it to stick a little better. So not a bad case. I do wish that there was some slight texturing on the side to help a little bit with grip. I do like the matte back. The metal ring here could be a little stronger for the magnetic hold, but it does seem to work well with the wireless chargers. And I would also like to see a little bit more of a raised edge around your camera lenses as well. And then here we have a case by OAKXCO. So this is a pretty simple silicone case. It's pretty flexible. It's got a nice matte silicone feel to it. On the inside, it does have some sort of like a soft fabric to keep your phone from getting all scratched up. It also has a pretty interesting, pretty strong smell as well. So if you're sensitive to really strong, like plasticky smells, you might want to stay away from this case. But it seems to fit the phone pretty well. It does feel pretty slick in the hand. It's not grippy at all. As far as the buttons go on the side, they're not clicky at all. And it's even hard to tell if you're even pressing in the button. Yeah, like you don't even hear anything clicking. They're mushy, and you really can't even feel that you're pressing a button. So that's definitely not good. If we take a look at the case from the side, you can see we do have a pretty even edge all the way around the front of the phone. Not very aggressive. It also does keep the phone pretty slim. We have our lanyard hole in the corner here, cutouts on the bottom. We have our volume and power button on the side. It's all part of the case. It's not separated. On the back, it does have a nice smooth kind of rubbery matte feel to it. We also do have a pretty good raised edge above our camera lenses for protection there too. And this case does not have MagSafe built in, but you can use this with regular wireless charging. So it's a pretty cool case. I liked it because it stood out with this really bright coloring. But as far as it feeling kind of slippery in the hand and the buttons on the side being really mushy and you not even being able to tell if you're pressing a button is a huge deal breaker for me. So even though the case looks kind of cool, I would not recommend this case. And the smell of this case is also something that would put off, I'm sure, a lot of people. It's actually really strong. It's too bad because it looked like a pretty cool, simple case. Then here we have a 4x military grade drop tested case by ONEAGLE. So they say this case has been drop tested up to 10 feet. It is a clear case. It's got a firm, kind of hard plastic backing. We do have a metal kickstand ring on the back as well, and it's surrounded by a firm rubbery type material. There's also this plastic cover on the back we can take off. So we'll put our phone inside the case. Fits the phone really well. Feels good in the hand. It does have a little bit of a grip to it. And as far as the buttons goes, they are somewhat clicky, but they're very hard to press. Yeah, definitely not the best. If we take a look at the case from the side, we can see we do have a slight raised edge around the front of the phone. We also have a pretty thick backing here, and that's most likely for that metal kickstand. We also do have some little bump-like bubbles in the corners to help with drop protection. We've got our cutouts on the bottom. Interesting enough, the little speaker has like a little kind of, it's covered by these little holes. It's not totally cut out. We also have our volume buttons and power button on the other side. On the back, shows off the color of your phone. Now it is glossy, so it will pick up some fingerprints, but it doesn't look like it's too bad. There's just, you see some smudges on the back here. Should be able to just wipe those off. Yeah, not too bad, but it will get probably full of fingerprints as you use it more. We do have this metal kickstand on the back that seems to be fairly sturdy. I don't think your phone would just kind of flop around. It seems to hold it in place, and it also rotates 360 degrees with like this, like these little clicks. It's also not super easy to turn, like you have to put a little bit of force in it, but I think that's pretty good because you wouldn't want this to just free spin. You want it to actually kind of stay in place, which is definitely a plus. So you can use your phone in a portrait or a landscape mode. So in portrait, you can kind of like angle it down, but it might fall if you go past a certain point. And then you can also put this in your landscape as well and kind of angle it up towards your face a little bit. Not too bad. And then we also do have a metal raised ring around our camera lenses as well. You can see that's pretty prominent. Your lenses are pretty deep inside that well, so we do have some pretty good protection for your camera lenses, which is definitely a plus. So now let's test out our MagSafe. Clips onto the back, charges your phone. And as far as the hold is kind of weak. It's strong enough to hold the MagSafe accessory on your phone, but it's not strong by any means. And then when you have these little kickstands that kind of fold out, that's the weak point for keeping it on your phone. It kind of bounces back and forth a little bit. So the MagSafe magnet, definitely not the best. And if we're using a power bank like I have here, does seem to hold on, and it looks like the kickstand just brings it up to the edge of your camera lens protector, so it's not lifting up the power bank, which is good. Charges your phone, and it seems like this one has a little bit stronger hold, but it's still kind of wobbly. But it does work. So a couple things I do really like about this case is the metal ring around the camera lenses. That does come up pretty good. The most that I've ever seen on any case up above the camera lenses, so some good protection there. I do like the inclusion of the metal kickstand, and the way that it clicks is kind of satisfying and it stays in place. The only thing is the magnet isn't super strong, and these buttons on the side are not easy to press, even though they are slightly clicky. So other than that, not a horrible case. It's just that for me, these mushy buttons are enough to keep me from not getting this case. I like buttons that are easy to press and that are super clicky. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And then here we have a magnetic case by TEMDAN. So this case looks pretty familiar to me. It looks exactly like one of the Taurus cases that I've done a review on in the past. It does have a MagSafe ring built in. It's got a firm hard backing that is matte, so it keeps down the fingerprints. And this kickstand on the bottom looks exactly like a Taurus kickstand. It is all metal, comes right off the case, and it is pretty solid as well. Clips right back into the case, and it's surrounded by a firm rubbery type material. Fits the phone really well. It does feel good in hand. It doesn't have any grip to it. It's just a smooth rubbery type feel. As far as the buttons on the side, easily pressable, nice and clicky. If we take a look at the case from the side, you can see that it does have a slight raised edge all the way around the phone, and it keeps the phone pretty slim. We've got our cutouts on the bottom. There you can see it's got that little grill hole covering your speakers. So it gives a little more protection there. On the other side, we've got our volume and our power buttons. On the back, again, it's got that matte look, which I love because it does keep down the fingerprints. We've got our MagSafe ring and our metal kickstand, so you can use your phone in a portrait mode or even lay it down in a landscape. Works really well, and again, it folds right back into the case nice and flush. And we also do have a pretty good raised edge for our camera lens protection as well, which I like to see. So let's test out our MagSafe. Clips right onto the back, charges your phone immediately, and as far as the hold, it does seem to have a pretty decent hold, so you don't have to worry about your phone just falling off the MagSafe. It's not the strongest hold that I felt, but it definitely seems a little stronger than most. Now, the one thing you might run into if you're using a MagSafe power bank like I have here is because it is a rectangle, and this is a circle, this fits the MagSafe ring perfectly, so it doesn't really sit on the edge of the camera lens. But if you're using a power bank that's rectangular like this, you're going to run into the issue where it is kind of sitting up on the camera lens protector there, and it's not making very good contact with the case. Therefore, it's not going to be as good as charging, and the magnetic hold is not going to be nearly as strong. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, even though this is a knockoff case, I do really like it. I love the metal kickstand. It's very solid. I do like the MagSafe on the back, as well as the matte texture, because it does keep down those fingerprints. The only thing is I wish it had a little bit more texture on the side to help with grip, but other than that, not a bad case. And then here we have a leather wallet case by WAWZ. So this case does look pretty nice, just first impressions. It does have like a suede feel on the outer portion of the case. We do have a little cutout for our speaker. Got a little metal emblem on the side. The stitching also looks pretty good as well, pretty uniform. It doesn't look sloppy at all. We have our camera cutout on the back, a couple of card holders inside, still maintaining that suede. We also do have a pocket on the side here where you can put some more stuff, and we also have our built-in case here. Just a very simple kind of TPU case, nothing special. So we'll put our phone inside the case here. Seems to fit the phone pretty well. You can see that it does fold flush without any cards or anything inside. Feels really good in the hand. Open it up here. It does seem to have like a magnetic hold as well, so it's not going to just kind of flop open while it's in your wallet. Of course, if you kind of put a little force into it, the fold will come off, but it does kind of hold in place with a little magnetic hold. And then for the card holder, we can put a couple cards in here. They do slide in pretty good, and they're also held in place just enough to keep them in place so they're not going to just fall out of the wallet, and you can still fairly easily take them out. And if we close up the case again, you can see that it just comes out a little bit more when you have some cards in there. You can fold it back on yourself to give you a better like hold on your phone when you're looking at it. And you can also kind of hit those buttons on the side if you have some larger hands like I do. The buttons are nice and clicky, and they're also easily pressable, which is definitely a plus. If we look at it from the side, we do get a slight raised edge around the front of the phone. This also does not come off, so the case is stuck on there, but you can kind of use it as a kickstand as well. So that's pretty nice. It kind of folds up just like that, so you can use it as a kickstand. And will it stand up? It'll kind of stand up in a landscape. It doesn't really angle towards your face, but it will stand. I really do like the feel of this case. It's kind of like the micro suede. Feels really nice though. Doesn't seem to show any fingerprints. We also do have a pretty good raised edge around our camera lenses as well. And let's see if we can wirelessly charge. This does not have any MagSafe on the back. It does have like a, it does feel like it has a little magnet in there, but it's not really, not really meant for MagSafe. But there's something in here that's allowing the magnet to kind of suck to it, but it doesn't really hold it in place. So let's see if it works with a regular wireless charger. It looked like it worked for a second. So it is charging now. So let's try it one more time. I think I just had it in the wrong spot. Yeah, so you just have to have it in the right spot and it will wirelessly charge. Yep. So that is a pretty nice looking case. Again, I do like the way that it feels. I do like that it has a little bit of a magnetic hold to kind of keep the fold from coming apart. Again, it's not super strong. So if you have cards in here or anything, or if you kind of like, you know, put a little force into it, the cover will come apart, but it kind of tries to hold it in place. I do like the fact that it does like have 2 card spots here. They could have maybe put maybe one more. It's really nice that it does also act as a kickstand, and it's definitely manageable with one hand. So that's a pretty nice case. And then here we have a clear plastic case by TEMDAN. This is just a pretty simple case. It does have a hard backing with MagSafe built in. Now when I got this case, it came kind of scratched up, and the packaging that I got it in was not looking too good at all. This is exactly what it came in. You can see that the package is kind of all scratched up, so you might expect that the case will be damaged when you get it, and it's also surrounded by a kind of rubbery type material. So the case does feel good in the hand. It does have some grip as far as the buttons on the side. Buttons are clicky, fairly easily pressable. They're not as easy as some of the other cases, but they do click. If we take a look at the case from the side, you can see that it does have a slight raised edge around the front of the phone. We also do have some extra little airbags in the corners to help with drop protection. We've got our cutouts on the bottom. We've got our power button and volume buttons on the side. You can see that little thick piece of plastic on the backing of the case as well. On the back, shows off the color of your phone. It is glossy, so you can probably expect there to be some fingerprint smudges here and there. And we also do have a pretty good raised edge around our camera lenses for protection there too, so that's definitely a plus. Now the one thing that they did that I really do like is they made the ring around the bottom of the lenses flat, just like the case. So if you're going to be using a MagSafe accessory like I have here, this power bank, it's going to sit flush on the case and not rest on the camera lens protector. So we'll put this on the back, charges your phone immediately. Seems to have a pretty good hold, and as you can see, it's flat on the case. And as far as the magnetic hold, it's actually pretty strong. Definitely don't have to worry about the phone just coming off your MagSafe accessory. It's on there pretty good. I really do like that they made that it can accommodate a bigger MagSafe accessories like the power bank here. And if you have the little MagSafe accessory that just clips right onto the circle, those work also. And it's got a nice strong hold. So that's definitely a plus. The only thing is again, like I said, my case came damaged. It's just a very simple case. Again, it does feel good in the hand. The MagSafe ring on the back seems to be pretty strong. I do like the fact that they made this part of the camera lens protector flat. The buttons could be a little easier to press, but again, they are clicky, and it does have a pretty good grip to it. And then here we have a OtterBox looking type case by REGSUN. So the back of this is kind of like a rubbery type textured material. On the inside, we do have a foam pad to help keep your phone safe from drops. This is also, it looks to be like a two-piece design where it's surrounded by a softer rubbery type material, and it's got the hard plastic inner shell, which we just take out from the case. So there we have our kind of like a TPU rubber, and this is a hard plastic. We're going to take this apart. This is kind of just like an Armorbox case here. Comes apart like that. We'll put our phone on the inside, then put this piece over the top of your phone and just press it into place. It should click together. Then you're going to take this whole thing and put it back into the outer shell. So this should give you some pretty good drop protection as well. And there you go. So it does feel pretty good in the hand. It's got a rubbery type grip to it. The buttons on the side, nice and clicky, easily pressable. If we take a look at the case from the side, you can see it does have a pretty good raised edge around the front of the phone. The only thing about these types of cases are if you have a tempered glass screen protector, if this inner portion covers that glass, sometimes it'll push up on the corners and then you'll have these bubbles that won't come out because this was meant to be flat on the phone screen, and if there's a screen protector underneath it, it'll push down on it, creating those bubbles. So that's just something to keep in mind. It does add a little bit of extra bulk to the phone, but again, you are getting that protection. We have our covered charging port on the bottom. We've got our speaker cut out right here. We've got our volume and power buttons on the side. On the back, it's got that kind of rubbery type texture, so it doesn't show any fingerprints. Feels pretty nice. And we also do have a pretty good raised edge for our camera lens protection as well. Now let's see if this does have MagSafe, and it does not. So the case doesn't have any MagSafe, but you should be able to use regular wireless charging. So that does seem to work. So not a bad case. If you're looking for an alternative for the more expensive Armorbox cases, I don't think this is a bad choice. It does. The only thing about this is this little covered port here. I mean, it could get kind of annoying if you charge your phone a lot, but it does seem to stay in place. And it should give your phone some pretty good protection. The only thing I would like to see is maybe some inclusion of a MagSafe, but other than that, not a bad case. And then here we have the UAG Monarch Pro Case. This case has been drop tested up to 25 feet, and it's also got MagSafe built in. So this case is the most expensive UAG case that you can buy. It's got the carbon fiber inlay on the back, and it does have some pretty aggressive features on the back as well as edges for some drop protection. It does have a hard plastic piece on the inside of the case surrounded by a firmer rubbery type material. So we'll put our phone inside the case. So it does seem to fit the phone pretty good. Feels pretty good in the hand. It does feel like a hard plastic. It does have some texturing on the side to help with grip. It's not slippery. And as far as the buttons on the side, super clicky, very easily pressable, which I absolutely love. And they also do come off the phone a good amount, so you can very easily feel them with your finger to press. If we look at it from the side, you can see that it also has a pretty good raised edge all the way around the phone. It does add a little bit of extra bulk to the phone, but you are getting that 25-foot drop protection. We do have some honeycomb pattern on the side to help with grip. We also have some reinforcements in the corners for drop protection as well. We've got our cutouts and lanyard holes on the bottom. We've got our volume and power button on the side, along with that honeycomb texture. I really do like the way that UAG makes their buttons. They're very pronounced. They're always very clickable and easily pressable. And on the back, again, it's got that kind of industrial type look. We've got that carbon fiber inlay around our MagSafe ring, and we also do have a pretty good raised edge around our camera lenses as well. So let's test out that MagSafe. Charges your phone immediately, and as far as the hold, it's got a pretty good strong hold on your case as well. You definitely don't have to worry about it just falling off your phone. And another thing that I really like that UAG did is they also made this kind of piece at the bottom of your lenses flush with the MagSafe ring. So if you're using a bigger MagSafe accessory, like I have this power bank here, when you clip it onto the back, it sits flush with the case and doesn't sit on any camera lens raised edge, which is definitely a plus. Not only does it help with the charging, but it also gives the phone a stronger hold for the MagSafe as well. Very nice. I think the case looks really cool. I do like the kind of industrial look. The MagSafe ring on the back is nice and strong, and the inclusion of the carbon fiber inlay looks really cool as well. We do have some pretty good protection for our camera lenses. The only thing with this type of cutout is you're probably not going to be able to use any camera lens covers because these are specifically cut out just for these OEM lenses on the phone. So just something to keep in mind. I really do like the way that the buttons feel and look, and the case also feels pretty good in the hand. And then here we have another wallet case by DJ Duck. It looks like this is some sort of a leathery type material. It doesn't have a smell like leather does, but it kind of looks and feels like it. It does have a couple card holders on the back of the case as well as the front of the case. The case itself is made of a hard plastic surrounded by a kind of softer rubbery type material. And the cool thing about this case is it's got these magnets on the back. So when you fold back the cover, it kind of clips right into the place onto the back of the phone, making it kind of look like it's not even a wallet cover. And it's pretty slim as well. So put our phone inside the case. Seems to fit the phone really well. Feels pretty good in the hand. It does have a rubbery type feel to it on the side. It does have like that leathery type inlay as well. As far as the buttons are okay. They are clicky. They're a little small, so it's a little hard to kind of press the individual buttons, but it does seem to work okay. If we take a look at the case from the side, you can see it does have a pretty good raised edge around the front of the phone. And again, if we kind of fold this over, interesting enough, it won't cover the front of the phone. So it's not meant to keep your phone screen protected. I guess it's just there to act as a wallet. Simply just that. So even though that it opens, it doesn't cover the screen. It's just there so you can access 4 of your cards. And that's pretty much it. So it does add a little bit of extra bulk to the phone. You can see it probably could be a little bit slimmer. But I guess if you're putting 4 different cards in there, it's going to be kind of bulky. So let's put some cards in here. Cards seem to go in pretty good as well, and they're not going to just slide out. Now, the one thing about these card holders that they didn't do is they didn't kind of level them, whereas one card is sticking out further in the back than the front. They're almost kind of equal, which makes it a little bit harder to, kind of access the one card that you want. But you can just slide these out with one finger, so maybe it's not too bad. I just like to see more of like a separation between the 2 cards. But again, you kind of can fairly easily slide these out with your thumb, but not for the back. You're gonna have to take out the front, before you can access that back. And if we clip it together, you can see that there's kind of a gap. But it does stay closed, so you definitely don't have to worry about that. And it does look pretty nice. The stitching looks pretty even all the way around. Doesn't look sloppy. So this is not like some of the other wallet cases where it actually covers the phone screen. But you can also use this as like a little, well, maybe kind of a kickstand. I don't know if you can't really, it's a little bit slippery, but it looks like it was kind of meant to be used as a kickstand, but it doesn't really want to stay open unless you really kind of stand it up like that. There's really not any angling to this case. You're going to have to stand it kind of upright so it doesn't slide, but it can be done. And then as far as wireless charging goes, it doesn't have any MagSafe built in, and because we do have cards in the way, I don't think it's going to wirelessly charge. But we can test it out here. So it does look like it's wirelessly charging through the cards. I wouldn't recommend it because it's having to go through your credit cards, and it might mess up some of the strips, maybe. But it does seem to work. So it seems like it can be done. It's not going to be the best wireless charging, and there might be a lot of heating up of your phone because it's going through your cards. But all in all, not a bad wallet case. Again, it does feel pretty good in the hand. I would like to see the kind of leveling of the cards just like every other wallet case does, but it does have a pretty nice strong hold to keep it closed so you don't have to worry about it coming apart. But I would like to see some bigger buttons on the side of the case. And then here we have a shockproof case by Hensimple. So here is the case. It also comes with a tempered glass screen protector. This case has a matte hard backing that doesn't show fingerprints. We've got MagSafe built in, and it also has a metal kickstand that acts as a protector for your camera lenses as well. And it has a firm rubbery type material on the edges. So we'll put our phone inside the case. Fits the phone really well. Does have a little bit of a grip to it. Feels good in the hand. As far as the buttons are a little hard to press on the side. Actually, they're a lot hard to press, but they are clicky. If we look at the side of the case, you can see that we do have a raised edge all the way around the phone screen. It also keeps the phone pretty slim. We've got our lanyard hole on the side here, cutouts on the bottom. You can also see the speaker grill is pretty covered. It's got like these little holes for the grill. On the other side, we've got our volume and our power button. On the back, again, shows off the color of your phone in that matte, which I absolutely love on cases. Keeps down those fingerprints, feels nice and smooth. And we do have a really big raised edge around our camera lenses for some protection there too. This is, again, a metal kickstand ring. It holds in place with a magnet, and it also seems to be pretty solid. It doesn't fold totally back on itself, but almost. And you can also use this in a landscape or a portrait mode as well. And when it's in landscape, you can kind of lay it down a little bit more to have more angle towards your face. And then it just clips right back into place, again held with a magnet. And it seems to be on there pretty good. It's not going to just flop around, which is nice. We also do have MagSafe. Now, one thing you will need to keep in mind is if you're going to be using a larger MagSafe accessory, like I have this power bank here, when you go to clip it down on the case, it's going to hit that large camera lip, and it's not going to connect to your phone or give it a really good charge because it's kind of floating in the air. But if you're going to be using a charger that just fits the MagSafe ring, like I have here, clips right onto the back, charges your phone, and it's got a good connection to that MagSafe, and it's also pretty strong. You definitely don't have to worry about your phone just falling off your MagSafe accessory. So just something to keep in mind. If you're going to be using MagSafe, make sure that it fits perfectly on the MagSafe ring, and you don't have a big power bank or something like that like this, because it's not going to work very well. So not a horrible case. I really liked everything about this case except for the buttons. Again, they're hard to press in, but they are clicky. But I like nice buttons that are easily pressable and clicky. So this case wouldn't be for me because these buttons are so hard to press in. I don't understand why, but I do like the matte, I do like the MagSafe, and I do like the metal ring that acts as a kickstand. It's just that I wish that the buttons were easier to press. But let's install the screen protector. I would keep the case on the phone to act as a guide because you don't get really anything to install this but your screen protector and maybe some stickers. So first clean off your screen really well with the included alcohol wipe. Then dry off the screen. Then you can use the dust sticker to remove any dust. Then take your screen protector, making sure the camera cutout is going towards the camera on the phone, and we'll peel off the underside protector, and then we'll kind of try to line this up the best we can inside the case. So you can see it is adhering to the screen. I did not press down on the screen, I just simply laid the screen down on top of the phone. And it seems to do a pretty good job at adhering. Just a slight bubbles at the bottom I can kind of push out with my finger. Just do that along the sides. And we'll take a look at the installation. Looks pretty good for not having a lot to use to install it. I don't see any extra bubbles, no lifting. Again, we do have a cutout for our camera. There is also a gap on the top of the screen for case compatibility. It pretty much comes up to the bottom of the case, and there's a little gap on each side of the case itself, but again, I put this in by hand, so it's not going to be perfectly aligned. But it should be compatible with most cases. And if we take a look at the side of the case, you can see we still do have a raised edge around the front of the phone, even though we do have the tempered glass on there. As far as touch, feels nice and smooth, just like the glass on the phone. The edges are also rounded off. As far as fingerprints, does seem to do a pretty good job at rejecting fingerprints, only slight smudges on the screen, and we can pretty easily wipe those away. And we'll test out our fingerprints. So the fingerprints don't seem to be working very well, so we'll re-register those really quick. So fingerprints went in pretty easily. Now we'll test those out. Pretty quick. Yeah, fingerprints are working fine now. So if you are having issues, just re-register them after installing the screen protector, and maybe even turn up the touch sensitivity of your screen. But you can see it is crystal clear. We don't have any anti-reflective coatings, but touch is working perfectly fine, no problems there. Now let's take a look at the screen as if we're looking at it through polarized sunglasses. And you can see if you're looking dead on, there's really no rainbow effect, but if we start to turn it, it's not, I mean, you're not really going to look at your phone on an angle like that. But if you turn it from the left to the right, there's really not a lot of rainbow effect, so that's actually pretty good. I'm not going to bother testing out to see if there's any screen bleed from the side because I installed this by hand and I know it's going to be off already. So looking like a pretty good screen protector so far. Now let's move on to the scratch and the drop test. So we're going to start off our test by dropping a 2.4 ounce steel metal ball at a starting height of 2 feet. If the screen protector doesn't crack, we'll move it up foot by foot until it eventually does. So here we go, 2 feet. Moving on to 3 feet. 4 feet. 5 feet. There is a mark, but no crack yet. 6 feet. 6 feet. It always amazes me that some of these free screen protectors you get with cases do better in the drop test than some of these screen protectors you pay like $50 for. So this screen protector lasted up until a 6-foot drop. Now let's move on to the scratch test. So regular tempered glass starts to scratch at a MOUS hardness number 6, so we're going to start off our test with the number 5. Then we'll move on to a number 6. And then finally a number 7. So if we take a closer look, It doesn't look like there's any scratches at the number 5. There are slight at a number 6 and a little deeper at a number 7. So scratch resistance seems to be pretty standard for tempered glass. So installation for the screen protector definitely could have been a lot better with a guide, but what do you expect for an included screen protector with a case? It also does seem to be case friendly and works well with the in-display fingerprint sensor. It lasted up until a 6-foot drop, and scratch resistance is standard for tempered glass. So definitely not a bad case. I do like the fact that it comes with a tempered glass screen protector. I also love the matte coating on the back, the MagSafe built in, along with the metal camera ring that acts as a kickstand. The only thing that I do not like about this case and would keep me from purchasing it again is the buttons. They're just too hard to press, and there's no reason for that. So I'd probably tell you to stay away from this case. And then here we have a case by Latvin. So here is the case. It also does come with a tempered glass screen protector. This case does come in different colors in case you don't like hot pink. I just thought it looked pretty cool and it stood out a lot. It does have a firm hard backing that does have a matte feel to it, so it won't show any fingerprints. We've got our MagSafe built in, and it's also surrounded by a firm rubbery type material. So we'll put our phone inside the case here. Seems to fit the phone really well. Feels pretty good in the hand. It's not slippery, but it's not grippy. It's got kind of like a smooth silicone rubber type feel to it. As far as the buttons on the side, nice and clicky, easily pressable. And if we take a look at the case from the side, you can see how much of a raised edge we get on the front of the phone. It also keeps the phone pretty slim. We have our cutouts on the bottom here. We have our power and volume buttons on the other side. And on the back, again, kind of goes really good with the reddish S25 Plus, but it does show the color through the back of the case. It's got that nice, smooth, soft, matte feel. And it's got a slight raised edge for camera protection too. Now you can see if you look at the bottom of the camera ring here, it's flat, flush with the case, and more case manufacturers should do that, because if you're going to be using a MagSafe accessory like I have this power bank here, when you clip it onto the back, typically if there's no cutout, the edge of the power bank will rest on the top of the camera ridge, and it won't make very good contact with the phone, so it won't charge very well, and the MagSafe won't hold on very well either. But because they did this, charges your phone immediately, and it's got a nice strong hold on the back of your case, so you don't have to worry about your MagSafe accessory just falling off your phone. It's on there pretty good. So I'm glad they did that little cutout. That's very smart, but that MagSafe is super strong. So it looks like a really nice case. We have the strong MagSafe, doesn't show fingerprints on the back. Buttons are nice and clicky, feels pretty good in the hand. I would like to see the case feel a little bit more grippy, but it's definitely not horrible. But now that we've looked at the case, let's install the tempered glass. And because it doesn't come with a guide, I'm going to tell you to keep the phone case on your phone when you're installing the tempered glass screen protector. So the first thing we need to do is to thoroughly clean off our screen with the alcohol wipe, then dry it off. Then take your screen protector, making sure the camera cutout is going towards the camera on your phone. We'll peel off the bottom protector, and then we'll place it inside the case the best that we can. So you can see the screen protector adhering to my phone screen. Do a little bubble in the corner, just kind of push out with my finger. It's not the best installation, but it does fit the case. So it does look like there is a slight gap at the top of the screen and a little bit on the sides because the screen protector is slightly misaligned. But it does fit this case perfectly. No lifting, no bubbles. As far as the touch, feels nice and smooth, just like the glass that's on the phone. The edges are also rounded off. As far as fingerprints, it does seem to do a pretty good job at rejecting fingerprints as well. So let's test out our fingerprints. Does seem to be working. Yeah, no issues with fingerprints. And if you are, just re-register them after installing the screen protector and turn up the sensitivity of the touch on the screen. You can see that it is crystal clear. It doesn't have any anti-reflective properties, so you do get a pretty bad glare. And let's take a look at the screen as if we're looking at it through polarized sunglasses. And you can see looking at it dead on, it looks pretty clear. Don't see any rainbows. Twist and turn. We do get a slight rainbow effect. But even turning it off to the sides, it's only a slight rainbow, like a pastel color. I think that's pretty good. Not bad for a free screen protector. And again, I'm not going to even test the light bleed on the side because I installed it myself, so it is already misaligned. And if we take a look at the screen from the side with the screen protector, on the screen you can see that we still do get a slight raised edge all the way around the front of the phone. So not too bad so far. Now let's move on to the scratch and the drop test. So we're going to be starting off our test by dropping a 2.4 ounce steel metal ball at a starting height of 2 feet. If the screen protector doesn't crack, we'll move it up foot by foot until it eventually does. So here we go, 2 feet. Moving on to 3 feet. We do have a little mark, but no crack. 4 feet. No crack yet. 5 feet. No crack yet. 6 feet. 6 feet. So another free screen protector that lasted up until a 6-foot drop. Incredible. So now let's move on to the scratch test. So we're going to start off our test with the number 5. Then we'll move on to a number 6. And then finally a number 7. And if we take a closer look, you can see there are no scratches at the number 5. There are light at a number 6 and deeper at a number 7. So scratch resistance is standard for tempered glass. So installation for the screen protector could have definitely been better with a guide, but it's free, so you can't really complain. It also does seem to be case friendly. It works well with the in-display fingerprint sensor. It lasted up until a 6-foot drop, and scratch resistance is standard for tempered glass. So this case is pretty nice, just a very simple case. It's got a nice matte back to keep down the fingerprints. We have the inclusion of the Magsafe that does seem to be pretty strong. We've got a camera ring that comes off slightly from the camera lenses for some protection. They also included that cutoff right at the bottom for larger Magsafe devices. Buttons are nice and clicky, easily pressable, and it feels pretty good in the hand. And then here we have a pretty protective case by BENKS. So here's the case. It also does come with a tempered glass screen protector. In this case, kind of reminds me of like a VRS DESIGN / I-BLASON SUPCASE case. It's kind of like a knockoff of that, but it looks pretty beefy. We do have a MagSafe ring on the back along with a camera cover that is made of solid metal, and this looks exactly like the I-BLASON Armorbox case and the SUPCASE MagEZ as well. So they probably took that right from that. On the outside, it does have kind of like an industrial look. It's also got a hard backing surrounded by a firm rubbery type edge. So we'll put our phone in the case. Seems to fit the phone pretty well. It does feel good in the hand, but it's not grippy. It's got kind of like a smooth rubber type feel to it. As far as the buttons on the side are pretty bad. You really can't tell that you're even pressing them. They are pretty flush with the case. I mean, look at how small they are. And again, like I said, they're not easily pressable. You can't even tell if you're I'm pressing them. They're not even really doing much of anything. I mean, they do kind of click, but it's super hard to tell that you're even pressing those buttons. So even for that, I would not purchase this case again, and I would tell you to stay away from it simply for that fact. And if we take a look at the case from the side, we do have a pretty good raised edge around the phone. It does add a little bit of extra bulk to the phone too. We've got our cutouts on the bottom. We've got those small buttons on the side for the volume and the power. And on the back, again, it looks kind of industrial. It looks really cool on the back. We've got the MagSafe ring along with the metal kickstand camera cover that also does have its own protection, raised protection for the camera lenses. Even when it's open, you can see how deep the lenses are in there, which is nice. And it's got kind of like a felt material on the inside as well. This is a really solid kickstand, and it stays pretty much in any position you're going to put it, but it doesn't fold back on itself. Now you can also use this as a kickstand. You can use your phone in a portrait or even a landscape mode, and it does have some adjustment as to what angle you put your phone as well. And then it just closes right back up inside the case. Now for the MagSafe, I do have a MagSafe power bank here. Let's see how well it works on this case. So it does charge your phone, but you can see that the edge of the MagSafe sits right on that camera protector, which isn't good because it doesn't make a good connection with the MagSafe, not giving your phone the best charge or the best hold on the back of the phone. So it does have a pretty decent MagSafe hold, even though it is lifted up a little bit. But the best thing to do would be to use a MagSafe charger that's just as big as the circular MagSafe ring itself. So if we put that on there, you can see it does not touch the ring anymore, charges your phone, and it's got a really strong hold on the case. So you don't have to worry about your phone coming off the MagSafe accessory pretty much at all. It's on there pretty good. So if you're going to be using a MagSafe accessory, try to use one that's small enough to just fit on this ring like I have here. So not a horrible case. I do like the MagSafe. I do like the way that it looks. This is nice. It's of course a knockoff of some of the other cases. It does seem to work well, but these buttons on the side, I mean, you're going to turn your phone on and off pretty much all the time and use these volume buttons. If it's going to be hard to press, or if you're not going to even know that you're pressing those buttons, it's not going to be a good experience. So again, for me, I would tell you to avoid this case. There are other cases just like this that work a lot better. But now let's install the tempered glass screen protector. So keep your phone inside the case. We can use it as a little guide. Then we're going to clean off our screen with the alcohol wipe. Then we'll dry it off. Then take your screen protector, making sure that the camera cutout is going towards the camera on your phone. And this sticker is on the underside of the protector. We just peel that off. And then we'll place this inside the phone's case the best that we can. And you can see it start to adhere to the screen. Pretty good. So we'll take a look at that. I don't see any bubbles, no lifting. Fits the case perfectly. We do have a slight gap at the bottom of the case as well as on the top, and just a slight bit on the sides of the case as well. So it should be compatible with most cases. As far as the touch, feels nice and smooth, just like the glass on the phone. The edges are also rounded off. As far as fingerprints, does seem to do a pretty good job at rejecting fingerprints as well, just slight smudges. And we'll test out our fingerprints. Really hate these buttons. But fingerprints seem to be working. Yeah. So if you are having problems with your fingerprints, just re-register them and turn up the touch sensitivity of your screen. You can see the screen is crystal clear. There is no anti-reflective properties of the screen protector. Touch working fine. No issues there. Now let's take a look at the screen as if we were looking at through polarized sunglasses. So you can see there is just a very slight rainbow effect. But if we twist and turn it, it gets a little bit more prominent, but still not bad at all, especially for a screen protector that comes with your case. Again, I'm not going to even test the screen bleed on the sides because the screen protector is not perfectly aligned. And if we take a look at the side of the case, you can see how much of a raised edge we get with the screen protector on the phone. So looking pretty good so far. Now let's move on to the scratch and the drop test. So we're going to be dropping a 2.4 ounce steel metal ball at a starting height of 2 feet. If the screen protector doesn't crack, we'll move it up foot by foot until it eventually does. So here we go, 2 feet. Oh, 2 feet. So I really thought we were going to see another 6-foot drop test, but unfortunately this only lasted up until a 2-foot drop. So now let's move on to the scratch test. So we're going to start off our test with a number 5. Then we'll move on to a number 6. And then a number 7. And if we take a closer look, you can see that there are no scratches at the number 5. There are slight at a number 6 and deeper at a number 7. So scratch resistance is standard for tempered glass. So installation for the screen protector could have definitely been better, but it does seem to be case friendly and it works well with the in-display fingerprint sensor. It only lasted up until a 2-foot drop, and scratch resistance is standard for tempered glass. If you guys have stayed with me this far, thank you so much for all your support. And if there was a case that you didn't see in this video that you'd like to see in future videos, let me know in the comments below. So now that I've had a chance to test out all those cases, I'm gonna let you know which ones I like the best based on a few different categories. But before I do that, I need to let you know which case I thought was the absolute worst. And that unfortunate honor goes to the Silicone OAKXCO case. At first glance, this case looks pretty cool. I do like the neon green color, but after putting it on the phone, I felt that it was a little too slippery in my hand. The buttons were also super mushy. You really couldn't even tell that you were actually pressing the buttons. And worst of all, it's got this weird, strong, chemical, plasticky smell, which would put off pretty much anybody. So I would recommend just to steer clear of this case. Then for the first best categories, we're going to take a look at the best cases for everyday use. And for that, I've got the SPIGEN Rugged Armor and the RINGKE Fusion X case. Both of these cases I've used for multiple years on past phones that I've owned, and they were absolutely great. The Rugged Armor not only looks good, but feels good in the hand. It's got a nice subtle rough texture on the back that helps with grip and doesn't show fingerprints. It's got MagSafe built in and does offer your phone some pretty good drop protection while keeping the phone pretty slim. Then we have the RINGKE Fusion X case. This case is another case that I've used multiple times in the past. It's been great. It gives your phone some decent drop protection. It also feels really good in the hand. It's got some texturing on the side to help with grip. And it's got some pretty aggressive corners and the back, and the buttons are very clicky and easily pressable. And if you don't like the clear, it also comes in a really cool textured camo. Then for the best silicone case, I would go with the RINGKE Silicone. This case is very affordable, it looks pretty good, feels nice in the hand. It's got some really nice microfiber on the inside to help keep your phone scratch free. Buttons are very clicky and easily pressable. It's also got MagSafe built in. But the only thing about this case that I didn't like was the little thin silicone piece that's over the charging port. And typically on most silicone cases, that's what you're gonna get. So that's the only drawback to the silicone case. Then for the best kickstand case, I would go with the SPIGEN Ultra Hybrid S or the TEMDAN matte case. The SPIGEN does offer a little bit of a grip for the case. It's also got MagSafe built in. The kickstand is also made of solid metal. It doesn't flop around, it's very solid, and it shows off the color of your phone. The TEMDAN is also a really nice case, even though it is a knockoff of the Taurus case. It does have a really nice metal kickstand that doesn't flop around either. It unfolds very nicely and folds right back into the case nice and flush. It does have MagSafe built in, and on the back it's got a nice matte covering so it doesn't show any fingerprints. It also feels pretty good in the hand and keeps your phone fairly slim. Then for the two best wallet cases, I would either go with the WAWZ wallet case, or if you want to still carry some cards in a regular traditional case, I would go with the VRS DESIGN Glide Guard. The WAWZ case is more kind of like a folio. It's made from a suede material, feels nice and soft, but you have to open up the case to actually see the screen on your phone. But if that's what you're looking for, this is definitely a nice option. The case holds about 2 cards, and you can also use it like a kickstand. The front part of the flap is held in place with a magnet. It's not super strong, but it should hold it closed while it's in your pocket or your purse. Then for the VRS DESIGN Glide Guard, this is more like a traditional case for your phone. It is rather bulky, but you can hold up to 4 unembossed cards in the back. It also has a camera cover that also acts as a kickstand. It also feels pretty good in the hand because of the texture on the sides of the case as well. The only thing is you're not going to be able to wirelessly charge through this case. You will need to plug it in to charge it. Then for the best minimalist Aramid fiber / Kevlar case, I've got the FIBERBORNE, the BENKS Armor Air, and the PITAKA Ultra Slim. All 3 of these cases were great, but the FIBERBORNE was a little bit better for a couple different reasons. One, it actually comes with a tempered glass screen protector, which none of the other 2 come with. And 2, the case is super solid, very rigid. It's got MagSafe built in, and it won't come off your phone unless you really wanted to. And another really big thing about the FIBERBORNE is it utilizes a Qi2 magnetic array. so you can use it with Qi 1 and Qi 2 wireless chargers. Next up, we have the BENKS Armor Air case. This is another really great case by BENKS. It's made from 600D Kevlar. It's got a MagSafe ring built in. Feels great in the hand, and it also has a metal ring around your camera lenses for some extra protection there too. And then lastly, we have the PITAKA MagEZ Case 6 Ultra Slim. This is another really great premium feeling case. Feels good in the hand, keeps your phone super slim. It's got MagSafe built in, and it's also got a metal camera ring around your lenses for extra protection there too. Then for the best cases that are going to offer your phone the best drop protection all around, I've got 4 different cases for you. All 4 of these cases have their own unique features and reasons to buy them, but first I chose the MOUS Limitless 6.0 case. This case not only is going to offer your phone some really good drop protection, it's got a very aggressive raised edge on the front of your phone to help protect your screen. It feels great in the hand. The buttons are really clicky, very easily pressable. It also has some really nice Aramid fiber on the back. It's got MagSafe built in, and it also keeps your phone fairly slim. Next up, we have the UAG Monarch Pro. This case has been drop tested up to 25 feet. It is a little bit more bulky than the MOUS case, but I think it looks really great. It also feels pretty good in the hand. It's got MagSafe built in, and it looks pretty premium because it's got that carbon fiber inlay, and it's got some pretty beefy buttons on the side that are easy to find and press. Next up, we have the I-BLASON Armorbox case. This case is another personal favorite of mine. The thing that I absolutely love about this is because it covers your phone 360 degrees. It's got a metal camera cover on the back that also acts as a kickstand. It's got a film screen protector on the front to protect your screen. It's got MagSafe built in. It feels great in the hand, and it also keeps your phone fairly slim for the drop protection that it does offer. And then lastly, we have the SUPCASE UB Pro. This case also protects your phone 360 degrees. It's got a kickstand built in, a screen protector built into the front. It is definitely a little bulkier than most cases, but it is going to offer your phone some pretty good drop protection. Feels great in the hand. The buttons are nice and clicky and easily pressable. And it also comes with a belt clip that rotates 360 degrees. So that's it for the best and worst cases for the brand new Galaxy S25 Plus. I'm really interested to know which cases out of all the ones we've tested did you guys like the best and why. Let me know in the comments below. And if you guys liked the video and found it at all useful, it would really help out me and the channel if you gave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Again, thank you all so much for all your support. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.